requires a sound card to like not cause issues down the line.
Hello, session 12 recording. Is my microphone working? It is. Yippee. Welcome.
Hi, YouTube.
Hi, Draken.
Hi,
YouTube.
Draken.
Hi, Draken.
Hi, YouTube. Hi, Draken. Hi, Draken. Hi, YouTube. Get some music going for Candlekeep, shall we? So, in terms of our last session, we I believe it was a lot happened last session. It was a couple of weeks ago. It's been a while. Yes, but yes, we you found Rye, who had been beaten up in a brawl, / won a brawl apparently. You said your goodbyes to Terrence, and used the teleportation circle scroll to make your way to the Scholar's Rest Tavern outside of Candlekeep. You met a very particular individual inside that tavern by the name of Volofamp Gadam, who was about to get his shit beaten out of him until you intervened and then wanted to kick the shit out of him afterwards. You made your way over to Candlekeep. There was a lot of turning heads as Uruk went through the doors once more. You spent some time getting accustomed to your settings and got assigned an avowed. You got a few books that you read through. I believe there was a book on the Feywilds, a book on like mythical creatures, and a book on Gem Dragonborn that Terra picked up. And at a later, so we were in these private study halls when you were interrupted by a chance meeting with the Keeper of Tomes, Janusi. He did not particularly offer a hell of a lot of venom Uruk's way. He didn't exactly give him a bollocking, but he did, in no uncertain terms, tell him that he was stripped of his avowed title and came offering a trade. Essentially, fetch some of the books that were taken from his own personal collection, and Uruk can return to his room, grab his things, and as a gesture of goodwill, he will have a meeting with you and the rest of your party to let you know, basically a chance to pick his brains on entrance to the Feywilds. So, stolen books were stolen from Janusi's own office. It was a series of books on advanced techniques in constructs, and it was sold to a high elf wizard named Famvar, who lives in a tower just bare east of Candlekeep. As far as he knows, the owner is away right now, but what exactly lurks inside is hard to say. And I think that's pretty much where we left off. Remind me if there's anything I missed there, but I think that's pretty much everything. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, so that's my intro, guys. We
The bot's gone again, I think.
the bot has gone again. Yeah, I realized.
Yeah.
I was going to say the music needs looping. So, what's the play, folks? What do you want to do? I think at the moment you're probably still within your private study chamber at the moment.
We got access to like a map of where we're being asked to go.
It's a few miles. It's like maybe like half a day's travel east.
Okay.
But I can show you on the world map vaguely if you would like.
Yeah.
Give me a moment.
Mainly because I think like Aaron would be like he's being asked to do something that he's not like this is not him deciding. He's being asked, so he'd want a bit more information.
Yeah, I suspect that you hopefully you can see if I point there. That's where you guys are. I just moved the token. And it would probably be about half a day's travel, so maybe somewhere like here, most likely. We're in the region at the very least. I could put a marker down for it or something like that, perhaps. That'd be handy. Might as well. I'll put a big circle.
Mhm.
Did Scrap Civic receive a book that he was looking for?
Oh yeah! Oh god, yeah. He was reading a book on he was reading books on advanced monk techniques, and I think you were asking for a series of books on like Way of the Cat or something like that, right? Like
And
Specifically,
and
how I
brewing
can
as
get
well.
stronger.
yeah, I believe I guess we didn't exactly cover that, but I think she did go and fetch you some books, like scrolls books, that type of thing. I think she actually acquiesced your request, and I think we mentioned that perhaps you learned Stunning Strike from one of these scrolls or something like that, right?
I'm just curious, do you have a name for the book, or who was written by?
Oh god, can't do. Hang on 1 second. If a name for things is the.
I love to be on the other side of this.
Is this like revenge or something? Oh wow, that's like really hard to read, isn't it? What the hell? 1 second. Let's try. Can I maybe if I put like a white? Ah, okay, that's readable.
Did you flashback yourself?
Anvar's Tower. There you go. Perfect, seamless. No one will ever know.
Looks good to me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So. Oh, what? Let me try and bullshit a name on the spot.
I believe in you.
I reckon. Okay, here's a name of. So you get like a you get. It's not necessarily a bound book. It's like it comes in a kind of scroll holder. It's a series of. It's written on sort of like papyrus type material, and you recognize at the top it says cat style scroll. That's
Cat style.
Cat style. Yeah, she delivered. She delivered on your request. It's
Awesome.
the series of contents really are about like kind of like bearing your claws, so to speak, but it's more about like kind of techniques and ways in which you can use your hands to really kind of and like also how to like utilize your agility to kind of give people the slip and get behind them and kind of like pinch pressure points and things like that. As such, you feel like you've learned a new technique, which we're going to have to say is Stunning Strike mechanically. But it's probably more somewhere akin to like a neck pinch or something like that.
Excellent. Is there like a dummy or something I can be training this on? In like the Candlekeep area?
I don't think there would be a dummy within the study halls of Candlekeep. Probably not.
Okay, cool.
But, hey, you know, we could find
I'll just make a makeshift one
you
out
just
of books.
buy like buy a sack of potatoes or something. Yeah, I don't think Candlekeep's really the kind of place where people train martially, really. So there isn't probably very much in the way of wooden dummies. But yeah, I imagine that you absorb that knowledge, and it's probably the only interesting piece of literature you've ever had for you.
As long as it's all pictures. Yeah.
There's probably a number of illustrations on it. Yes, yeah. There's probably parts of it that are written in a language that you can't read, but there's some very clear illustrations in terms of, especially I'd say particularly the examples are on humanoids, but you feel like you know, kind of like with your eyes, you feel like you would probably be able to find weak spots on most things that you reckon you could kind of attempt the same tactics on, really.
Cool. Is there an author?
Is there an author? Oh, is there an orc?
The scroll is illuminated with like.
Or is there like
cats.
a logo or anything that I could be like, I need to see more of this?
That's a very good question. I reckon. Give me a moment. Let's have a look. I think that the scroll itself is authored by an individual named Kite in the Wind. Doesn't ring any bells though. The name Kite in the Wind.
Okay.
It's an odd name. But you don't know. Again, I don't know if historically you'd have any idea who they would be. But maybe someone else might know. That's it, if you ask them.
Cool.
Yeah. Doesn't address the thing or say where it's come from particularly. Okay. What about?
Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Anybody else?
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say maybe after 20 minutes
Mm-hmm.
of reading,
Mm-hmm.
Tara would not say anything, but they would close the book and get up and leave with the book.
Okay. When you say also, I'll put us back on the. I'll put us back on the Candlekeep map just so we can see the. See the features of it. So currently, you guys would have been up in these upper bits, which are your kind of like private study halls. Also, I'm just going to grab my book. 1 second. I have a very handy. Oh shit!
You okay?
I'm fine. Fucking stupid ass carpet. I have like a carpet protector thing for my fucking office chair, and the fucking edges of it keep sticking up, so it's fucking tripped over the bastard. I put my chair on top of it now. Should be fine.
Yeah.
Hurt my foot there. So I have a very handy map of Candlekeep at the very least, so I can tell you what any of the areas are. Yeah, sorry. So currently, you guys would have been. I think I said that you guys were in this back kind of private chamber. The pillars, I believe they're called, the pillars of pedagogy. Can't remember how to say that word. Pedagogy, something like that.
Probably pedagogy. Yeah.
I think that's what we went. That's what we went for in the end. These kind of like flat-topped, huddled-together towers of a number of private study rooms. So, when you say you leave with the book, do you essentially just walk out of the room that you're in?
Okay. It's been forever since I've listened to it, but where would we request a silenced room?
You could, yeah, actually, that's a good point. So, I think essentially, like when you got assigned a room from a kind of reception area in this small building down here, there was a guy that let you in. You could quite possibly go and try and request a silenced room.
Tara's gonna do that.
Okay.
They're just gonna leave with the book and head down there.
Okay. You make your way out of the tower that you're in, back across this kind of tiny piece of courtyard and into this reception building. The same man that was sat there earlier who let you all in is still sat there. He's just kind of writing some stuff down on a piece of paper.
Tara would walk up to the desk and just clear their throat to get their attention.
Yeah, you're Urik's friend, right? Can I help you?
I would like to request a private room, a silenced room.
Okay. Now, strictly speaking, I'm supposed to say that those are reservation only, but unstrictly speaking, let's have a look. He takes out a small kind of journal and kind of looks up to you, say, "Can I have a name, please?"
Tara.
Terra. Terra. Yes.
Yes.
Surname.
No.
Okay. How long will you require the room for?
An hour.
Oh. He writes an hour down. He's like, kind of looks at you. He's like, between you and me, usually we apply some kind of minimum charge, but for an hour, and given that you're a friend of a friend, I'll just write it down as paid. He
I appreciate it.
he makes a little tick on the book and then kind of goes like, right, tower a little bit near the one you were in, but it's he kind of like points out which one it is. It's like top floor room has a permanent silence spell cast on it. Should be able to lock the doors from the inside if you care to. Just make sure you're not in there for too long.
I will.
Gives you a smile, and kind of lets you go on your merry way.
And well, Tara's gonna go straight to the room, and well, they're gonna first finish reading the book,
Okay.
and after that, for the rest of the time that they have in there, they're just going to scream as loud as they can
Okay.
and cry.
Admittedly,
And
it doesn't make any noise.
that's the point.
Yeah.
But they are going to use the amulet as well. Just hold it.
The one that you got from the from Waterdeep.
Yep.
Okay. How are you using it exactly?
Just holding it.
You feel a constant urge to put this thing on now. The more that you use it, the more that it is tempting you to put it on.
I mean, at this point, Tara is just raging at everything that's happened to them. I don't think they would have the wherewithal to
Not put it on is what you're.
I'd say to put it on, I think more than anything, they would throw it.
Okay.
It's something in their hand.
You feel
and
this.
they're
You
angry.
feel this thing kind of almost wrapping a wispy hand around you, almost like one urging you to put the thing on, and you toss it against the wall. I imagine it just breaks into a bunch of pieces. It's like a little scone, it's like a little like skull charm type thing. Just kind of watch all the beads that are kind of surrounded on the neck just kind of fall off and roll across the room.
And after that, I think Tara will just sit up against the wall and I mean sob and cry for the rest of the time that they have in there.
Still got about. I imagine that you so basically like maybe you spent like I don't know half of the time finishing reading the thing, and the other half just kind of letting all your pent up emotions out. While that happens, what about the rest of you in the other study room? I guess.
So I'm assuming this book on the Feywilds wasn't as helpful as we thought, right? Which is what we said last time, though.
It doesn't give you. It depends on what you mean by useful, I guess. Like, what?
Yeah, because it was like about monarchs and stuff, right? Because I picked up the one that's got like.
It was about
of-
like yeah. It was a bit. There was sections on how to talk to. It was basically about like a bit of the history of the Feywild and also like some of the customs. It isn't really about like. It isn't about how to get there.
Yeah. So it was useful in the sense of it's general useful historical information for when we get there.
Yeah.
But it's less in terms of practically what we do with it. So I think he's got some information from that, but then the rest of the time he's probably like going, well, actually, we've ran into a lot of stuff where we didn't know where we were going.
Yeah.
Let me actually study up a bit on this area because this is completely a new area for him. So he's probably got like his equivalent book to the Intro to Waterdeep book he's got. I did write the name of that title down.
Yeah. So are you basically is it basically that you spend the time to read through the book on the Feywilds? You mean, or?
So no, so I think he's looked through it and gone, well, this is useful, but not for the thing we need to do straight away.
Yeah.
So he's got, I think it's called Waterdeep and its Environs is the original book I had for Waterdeep, and you want to probably ask for another book that's similar to that for Candlekeep.
I think that they probably, essentially, like, I imagine they probably give you like a small kind of, like a very small. It's not really like a book so much as almost like a pamphlet type thing, but it just kind of makes very clear. Well, it restates a lot of the rules that you were given when you first entered Candlekeep. It also, I think it probably also makes a lot of notes about like, it states essentially the same things that you got told when you first came, which is no fighting or altercations, no stealing, no copying. Like you can make notes of a book as you use it, but you can't word for word make a copy of it. There are people in Candlekeep that you can pay to do that. And also no damaging, marking, or modifying the things within it. And I think it probably makes a bit of a kind of spiel about sort of like, not necessarily justifying those things, but why they do that. Yeah. Essentially, like, it's supposed like in essence, Candlekeep is supposed to be this big. It's supposed to be this like big, large repository of written law. It's like the biggest one in Faerun, and they have a big and it holds thousands upon thousands of things. It's not necessarily just historically important or magical text. It's like everything, but they keep one copy of everything, with the intent that, this is like the master collection of things, really. Like, there is thousands of lost recipes, songs, folklore, journals by people who have long since passed. Like, they argue that keeping all of that somewhere is vitally important, and making sure that people cannot damage it, steal it, or modify it is vitally important, basically. I think it probably also goes into some details about like the various protective wards that are placed on the library and the things within it. So a lot of magic within Candlekeep, especially stuff like teleportation, just will not work. Fundamentally, there is a giant ward that is supposed to prevent people teleporting in or out of Candlekeep. Every single within the entire kind of place, within this entire kind of ward, fire is completely suppressed, except for anything larger than the side of a candle is just essentially instantly blown out, because they do not want a situation of anything being burnt. And every single book, scroll, or work in in Candlekeep's collection is protected against theft. So if anything is removed from the keep's area, it will just return to its place on the shelf that it belongs. So long as the bulk of the work remains in so long as the bulk remains, then it will come back to Candlekeep. And yes, the whole thing is also there is also protective measures, such as the ability to essentially block anybody getting into it. They make their need for security and safety and whatnot very, very apparent, because in their minds they are there's like a little bit. You kind of step through a lot of the religious stuff, but there's a lot of talk of Denir, the god of writing and books, and how this is this is kind of in his image to some extent, this one big place of collecting knowledge. So yeah, that you get quite a bit just out of this kind of collection of pamphlets that you get, basically.
Yeah, I imagine it's 20 pages total, but it's very succinct.
It's succinct and dense because it's trying not to waste the time of your average scholar. Essentially, it's almost like
the
a
sort
big
of thing that they make you read, but they want to be able to enforce that, so therefore keeping it short enough to keep people.
Yeah. I mean, even they didn't even necessarily make you read this. It's just that maybe you requested this separately. I'd like to know more. Why? And then they probably have this on hand as a kind of frequently asked questions guide or something like that. Right?
Yeah.
There's probably less on the actual history of the place within this. It's probably a lot more about the kind of mission, I think. You suspected if you wanted to, you could probably request separately for history of Candlekeep, but you don't have that to hand at the minute.
Yeah, I think that's all I'm doing with my time. Is I've read this book and got some knowledge out of it, but then I've also gone, well, we'll be coming back anyway. So for now, this isn't the immediate thing. I want to know more about this place.
Yeah. You want to know what your kind of thing within these walls should be and how you should behave, and whatnot. And I think you get a good gist of that. I would say if you came to do something, say for example, Arian. If you were considering doing something, I would tell you if Arian would know, yes, no, don't do this in Candlekeep type thing. You have a pretty good grasp on the kind of constructs of which they have applied here, right?
I think if there's no one around, there's almost out of pure intellectual curiosity, he will in his hand light up Sacred Flame a little bit away from all the books just to test it. Just to see for himself how it works, and he'd have it, and then as soon as it's suppressed, he'd be like, "Oh, that's interesting."
I think you would just feel as if you have very little ability to cast magic here. It feels like moving through mud, really. Trying to even make the kind of somatic gestures you need to do to cast the spell feels hard, and when you do, it just snuffs itself out instantly. I would say, Eric, you know all of this stuff just in your head, most likely.
Yeah. I feel since the conversation, mostly what Eric's been doing is he probably, while it looked like he was sat back down to read, you've probably seen him read and study enough that he's going nowhere his normal speed. He seems to just be kind of contemplating kind of deeply, what he's been asked to do, but also kind of what he. Just the situation in general, how it's not got as bad as he thought, but he's now reflecting on what he's done and what he was told, and whether, stealing all this stuff, should he be as righteous as he is? He's just kind of in a quiet contemplation, probably.
Mm-hmm. I would say this as well. Like, admittedly, I would say this. You were never particularly sure how your mentor managed to smuggle things out, to be honest. Knowing the wards that are placed, presumably he would have had to break them somehow.
Mm.
And you're not really sure how, I would say. I think you were probably more the person doing a lot of the physical work, but to some extent, right? Like maybe you were the one moving the books out, but
Yeah.
some
Or
kind of
keeping a look, moving the books out, keeping a lookout in certain spots.
yeah.
You know, if he was doing something on his own, it would be, you know, providing the excuses. So,
Mm.
or you know, the door to his study would probably be shut, and then it would just be, you know, someone there being like, "Oh, he's in there just studying."
Yeah.
No reason to doubt it. But,
Exactly. And when it comes to the books, maybe you were the person who had to take them and deliver them to the people or something like that.
yeah.
And also, similarly, at this point, I would say also this entire time, you're not entirely sure how you managed to break the teleportation, like, lock, either. You know that your mentor prepared a very specific ritual for you to get out, but how exactly he broke that ward as well, very hard to tell. Very hard to tell.
Mm.
Not without asking him, which is somewhat difficult at the moment.
But he is here, right?
Somewhere within it, yeah. I think.
Yeah, he's.
I don't think Janussi was very clear about exactly what happened to him, but he made it very clear that Urik's mentor is very much alive, and he has.
And has been recaptured.
Yes, and he has like
I assume
a debt to
there's
pay
some
off to them.
dungeons. Yeah, I
Something
assume
like
there's
that,
some
yeah.
dungeons or some kind of like prison situation, like
Yeah.
in the under levels of Candlekeep, where it's
exactly.
less pleasant.
Admittedly, you're not really sure what the protocol for this would even be. Like, it's just not a thing that's happened.
It's such a
Yeah.
rare occurrence.
Like all you know, the only similar situation you know is the fact that there is a giant fucking sentinel worm going through the undercarriage of Candlekeep that's been there for thousands of years because it tried to rob the place. Like, admittedly, that was actually, I would say historically, you know, that was more of a mistake on Candlekeep's side, not actually intentional. More like she was supposed to pay off a certain life debt, but whoever placed that spell on her passed, so she's just been stuck. Like Candlekeep have actively tried to sort of deal with that, but they've struggled because an unfathomably powerful ghost dragon in the basement is a hard problem to get rid of. For a bunch of book nerds, basically. Powerful book nerds nonetheless.
Not many of them are willing to risk their lives trying to
No.
deal with a big dragon.
No, and the dragon is, but in terms of like the Candlekeep staff, peaceful. Like only attacks intruders. Seems to have, and is still somewhat mentally sound somehow after all that time down there. But yeah, it's just an awkward situation all around. You suspect that you just don't know. You just do not know what state your mentor is in right now, where he is, what he's doing, and perhaps you'd have to ask Janussi after you scratch his back, most likely. Like,
Probably give us some more tasks to do, but then there'd be some more information down the road.
Exactly. What about Journey? How are you dealing with with all the people around you reading books? Did you read your thing on well, you read some of the stuff on mythical creatures. You read the bit about hydras, the very least.
This book, it's about mythical creatures, but of what kind? Like, is it like all those like legendary monsters, like one of a kind of, or is there more variety in this book?
More of a bestiary than it is a like as far as you can tell, hydras are not singular creatures. There is a there are more than one hydras, so it's probably goes into detail about all sorts of things, really. There's probably talk in here of like magically created creatures, perhaps things like there probably is like bits. I would say there's probably a bit of both, basically. Like perhaps there is some talk of one of a kind type creatures, and then there is a lot of talk of general beasts, I guess. You it's a thick old book. It's a thick old book, and it's kind of emblazoned with like illustrations of some of these creatures.
I imagine it's more a collection of loads of different individual works, right? In that sense of like someone's compiled this into a central.
It's like an encyclopedia, I guess. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, as I say, there's a lot. There is a lot in here. You suspected that if you wanted to, you could pick another creature and read up on it, while everyone else is sat there with their head in their books. Or you can just sit there and enjoy the nice, comfortable chairs.
Actually, I think I have a bit of a strategy for going through this book.
Okay.
I think Johnny would grab one of those like complimentary notebooks that are available to us.
Yeah.
And just like start taking like very top level notes of like how to fight various creatures.
Yeah.
She doesn't care about their like eating habits or like where they are. It's just like I kill this thing this way, and just like take a bunch of notes on as many things as she can in this time.
I just love. I'm kind of just imagining you like I'm just imagining Johnny like buckling down and just writing a bunch of footnotes on like just absolutely filling like pages of notebook in like minutes here, most likely.
They were imagining it's like literally just like name of monster and like one or two notes and next one, next one,
exactly.
next one, like trolls hate lights, sphinxes don't answer their riddles,
exactly.
Undead, find a cleric with talent and that, and like stuff like this.
Exactly. It makes you feel more and more like a somewhat trained martial fighter. You feel like there's probably a variety of things now that if you encounter them, you at least have some idea of potential top level tactics, some strengths that these creatures might have, and some weaknesses. A lot of these, in terms of a lot of this knowledge, keep all of this stuff in your head and bring it up to me as and when you think it's relevant. Because I think we could write that into a feature or a trait, but I'm sort of imagining it as like. This is just like basically at this point now, Journey has like maybe this is you've got a bunch of notes in this notebook. You're probably going to read through it, and if you encounter like a number of common beasts, you're going to be like, right. I
have a chance of knowing, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Found a way to justify rolling. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Plus, I kind of imagine it like. I imagine that perhaps you took some interest in some of the things that you fought in that wood as well. Stuff like you maybe read up on the violet fungus and other things like that.
If it's there, absolutely.
Yeah, like you get a good idea of the type of things that will not work on it, and also just a general idea of like how does this thing operate type of thing.
All right.
But yeah, no, I think you probably get that for a big collection of things, most likely.
Is it okay if I add this like notebook I'm writing right now into inventory?
Yeah, please do. Yeah, and if you would like to make a note in features and traits of like well read on monsters or something, you can. I don't mind. Up to you. How that will translate will be you can ask me things and I will tell.
I will first put more work into it as a character, then we can talk about traits or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. Yeah. This is just you doing your initial reading.
Yes, doing my like preliminary research.
Exactly. Yeah. This is you flicking through the phone book and getting the numbers of all the monsters.
Yeah, and this is literally like the only thing I can do here that wouldn't bore me otherwise.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. This is like comparative. So like everything else everyone's reading, this is incredibly fun and fascinating for you.
I think I already like imagine myself fighting all these monsters and winning.
Just imagine on the notebook there's just like a doodle of you, like with like a sword and a dragon, something like that. This is definitely feeding into your wanderlust, that's for sure.
Yes.
Some of these things sound terrifying, and that's great.
So exciting.
Yeah. You also just thinking at the top level, you think about oozes for a minute. You're like, I don't want to go anywhere near those things.
Oh yeah.
Well, just in like there's probably a lot. There's like a number of different oozes that are like talked about in here, and like how some of them live in like dungeons, things like gelatinous cubes, black puddings, grey oozes, and you're just like, oh god, I don't like the acid jelly. Just entire swathes of creatures that are just terrifying on a fundamental level.
Also out of character, I actually read like a bestiary on oozes, and yes, I don't want to meet any of those.
Yeah, pretty much. Nobody wants to fuck with you. Like I would say, if there's one thing in the entirety of D&D I can say, you don't want to fuck with an ooze.
Okay, good advice. Thank you.
Yeah, they're kind of fundamentally terrifying, and they fuck your equipment up. I love acidic sludge.
So that, and also if Scraps needs any help reading, I'm also happy to like lend Scraps a hand.
I would say that similarly, there's probably languages on this scroll that you can't read either. No idea what script this would be, but you help point out the bits of common and the pictures. Scraps, I think, is probably reading this more intently than you've ever seen Scraps read anything. That's at least how I imagine it. This is like Scraps finding something interesting to them, in the same way that you found your monster book and you're very happy to read through it.
For the those languages, would it be like a history check to work out if you know them or?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say also if you want to help Scraps, you could also try and see if you've heard "Kite on the Wind" before, or "In the Wind." I can't remember exactly what it was, but
I'll roll history then.
I kind of imagine it like Erin's just like, right, I finished reading my pamphlet. I'm just going to poke over your shoulder and have a look.
Yeah. 24.
I would say that you think "Kite on the Wind" you may have heard of before, and that there has been tales of this individual. You recognize the name as being a Tabaxi-like name. A lot of Tabaxis take names in a similar kind of structure to that. And you reckon that they're a relatively, like, kind of like almost like a storybook type monk. Like, they've probably had some adventures on the Sword Coast in the past, and that they eventually formed their own kind of school of martial arts. You wouldn't off the top of your head know where their dojo would be or anything like that, though.
Yeah.
In terms of the language, I think that it's likely that the language is you recognize the script. I would say, like, at a glance, you recognize the script as being Draconic, but you're not entirely sure.
I do have Draconic as a language.
Yeah. What I mean is, you recognize the script, but
I can't actually. It's not a language I've seen before.
No, it's not. It's not written in straight Draconic. If you had to make a guess, it may be written in Chultan, which is a language, which is like a group of languages from South Faerun, which is a very, very long way away. Keeping in mind, I think I might have a map of Faerun actually, but kind of like from the kind of like southern type, like I think a lot of the south of Faerun is very much like I want to say it's sort of like, I don't know, it might be kind of deserty. I can't really remember. I think it's like yeah, let's have a look. It's let's have a look. It's not. It's a lot of Faerun isn't that much different to the Sword Coast, but a lot of the politics are very different, and a lot of the languages are quite different, and the weather and like the kind of environment is fairly different. But yeah, you would have to suspect that this probably has come quite a way to make its way over here, most likely.
Yes, it's why there's like almost like it makes sense that this is like, there's stories of this guy.
Yeah.
And they're almost like they're like, children's stories level of like,
It's
there's no veracity to them sort of thing. Well, no one's ever been able to prove. Yeah, it's not like matching historical accounts that like multiple people have sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably that like this individual is probably more of a Faerun type figure than a Sword Coast specific figure. So it's like the kind of it's a very distinctive name that stands out to you, but you wouldn't be able to say very much about who they are or what they did. Even as that's on a 24 as well. This is like you kind of like it's kind of like you digging around in your head for a very particular kind of folklore figure and being like, I know the name, and I know vaguely where they're from, but who knows? You'd have to read up on that person probably. I guess you probably do. You,
yeah, no, I'd relay all that straight. Like, I'd be relaying that as it comes to mind almost.
Yeah. I'd say I think I can get a map. I have a map of Faerun, but yeah, let me have a look. So if I just take you to the map of Faerun, right? I think where you guys are is like I think it's like this. It's kind of like this area along the Sword Coast, I think, sort of. This is just northern Faerun, by the way. So southern Faerun. So like you'd have to go past these kingdoms down here, like Eastern Shah, the Shah. Go even further south. At that point, that's kind of where you are. Yeah. So you're thinking thousands. Well, I'd say also this is inaccurate scale. So thousands and thousands of miles away.
Yeah. There's a level like people don't cross that almost ever in terms of traveling.
Yeah, exactly. You all you know is that this is a very, very long way away. So maybe if your travels ever take you that way, you might go and seek out Kite on the Wind. Maybe.
How far are we going for this person?
Yeah, I don't know. It might not be this campaign situation, but we're talking crossing from North Faerun to South Faerun. That's like going from the North Pole to the South Pole, right? Like
in my headcanon, I sincerely hope that this is a cat.
Well, they're a tabaxi. Like
oh.
I mean, they're basically they're cats on two legs, basically.
Yeah, like it's like you go meet them, and then they have a cat, and that's actually the true master.
Kite on the wind, but actually it's just smudged out, and it actually says Kite on the Wind's cat.
Did Scrubs ever meet a tabaxi?
No,
probably not.
No.
Oh, that's gonna be so cool once we do.
Yeah. You'd be talking. I think tabaxi are probably like not entirely unheard of on the Sword Coast, but like I can't imagine that they're like very common. You know what I mean? Like primarily, tabaxi come from West Faerun in the jungles of West Faerun. So probably a lot of them do not venture out of those, but
they're closer than sound such that you would have, like, in theory, there'd be one or two that have crossed over.
Exactly.
Not unheard of.
Exactly, and ultimately the thing about D&D like character races is there's different individuals of all of them, right? Like, so yeah, there's probably tabaxi civilizations in Western Faerun, like tabaxi cities, but individual tabaxis have probably gone all over the place. In the same way that yeah, the Sword Coast is full of humans, but humans are everywhere. You know. But yes, you. I would say you probably don't even know what a tabaxi is, Scraps. Like, or maybe you do. If anybody would have a vested interest in knowing that there are cat people, it would probably be you. But
I don't know. I wouldn't care.
no,
I wouldn't care to look.
No. I suppose you wouldn't. Plus, being an orphan on the streets of Baldur's Gate, you probably just see the people that come and go through Baldur's Gate, right? Primarily. But yeah, you get told that info. You get told some of that info by Arian, who is recounting off what very little he knows.
Yeah, I'll listen with intent.
Right. I think that Terra, you get, well, I would say that you realise that your time within the silenced room is coming to an end. Probably, there's probably like, since it's a silenced room, there's probably like a light above the door that turns on, like flashes. You suspect that's your cue to leave.
I think Terra would quickly compose themselves, as they do. Walk over to where they threw their amulet and just gather up all the beads that were strung from the amulet. The amulet's still whole, right?
I'm kind of imagining that, like, it's kind of like there's probably a bunch of, like, all the beads have fallen off, and there's probably like a slight chip out of this kind of skull type. Well, actually, I think I said skull, but maybe it's more like it's like kind of like a metal coin with a skull on it, I guess, something like that. So it's probably fine, but the rest of the amulet kind of probably just fell to bits, pretty much.
Do they still get the same feeling from it?
If you put your hands anywhere near the coin part, yeah.
Okay.
It has a feeling
For
coming
my
off of it
sake.
like it wants to be held and touched.
For my sake.
I think you go to pick it up. You're very careful to not touch it completely. The beads, they don't offer anything off of you. They seem to just be decorative, as far as you can tell.
Yeah. And Terra still gathers them up. They want to keep the room clean.
There's probably like a bit, like I kind of imagine it like basically there's still like the bits of kind of string that go through this coin. So you're very careful to grab those bits and not touch the metal part. You can just slip it back into your holding for now.
And Terra was going to do that and gather up all the beads and the strings, in the room. And lastly, they're going to, of course, clean themselves up with a quick little prestidigitation.
You kind of the kind of tears on your face, or like the kind of, I don't know if snot is the right word, you know what I mean? Kind of like.
I mean, no, there would be snot.
Yeah. You look like a fucking mess, and with a click of your fingers, you look like a person who hasn't just spent half an hour sobbing in a dark room, which is always the benefit of it is prestidigitation, right? I think it is, right?
Yes, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
They're just gonna take a deep breath to themselves and final composure, and they're going to head out. What happened to Volo when we came into Candlekeep?
Volo split off from you guys. He was here for his own things.
Oh,
Sorry, say that again.
oh no.
he's officially not your responsibility. He went off, was assigned a separate avowed, and you've not seen him since.
Okay. Tara's gonna go back down to the receptionist.
Okay. Yeah.
They're gonna go up to the desk and they're gonna say, "I have one more question to ask."
The guy just looks back up to you like, welcome back. He writes something else down in his little notebook. Seems to basically be just showing that you've signed out, and he's like, yes.
Where can I find Volo?
Oh. He's like, let me take a look. I really shouldn't be doing this. He flicks through his little book, takes a look at the name, and he's like, yeah, I really shouldn't be doing this, but fuck him.
He requested my help.
He requested your help to get here, I think, right? But
well, that's what Tara says.
Yeah, I see. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. He gives you like he kind of like looks both ways, gives you like a room number pointing to another one of the smaller spires. He's like, door shouldn't be locked.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Have fun.
Yes. And Tara's immediately going to go there to Volo.
I think you make. Hang on, let's get my Volo music, shall I? So true. Okay, you make your way. You make your way up to the place that you were told to go, and you open the double doors to it's a non-silenced study room. There is a bunch of books just piled up, and you see the man kind of sat leaning forwards in a chair, scribbling notes. Also, I think the bot just die.
No, it's playing.
No,
Okay.
Playing.
It's playing.
Okay, that's weird. Like, it felt like it skipped for a second. It feels like it does not like stuff over the length of like 30 seconds. Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna play one that isn't. I think 30-minute things just do not work on this.
Yeah.
Anything over like 10 minutes, it seems to struggle with.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's not crashing on it now, so that's good.
Yeah.
Mm.
But let's find one that isn't half an hour. I'll do. I'll just use the loop function. Sorry. I just want to. It would distract me otherwise. He is basically. He looks up from his books, and he's like, "Well, I say this is an outright." And
Immediately puts up their hand.
he looks up at you like, "Ah, it's you. I see." Close the door. Sit down.
Tara's going to close the door. And they are just going to reluctantly and slowly sit down. And I'll say that Tara still has like bloodshot eyes. Prestidigitation
does not
cleans
get rid of
them up. Yeah, but it does not get rid of the signs.
Yeah.
So they still have bloodshot eyes and like a more kind of like a dead voice. If Tara is going to sit down, they're going to set their book on the table very gently. And then they're going to look up at Volo. And they're going to say, I will give you the information I know. On the condition, holding up a finger, that you listen. Don't take notes. Just listen.
He closes the book in front of him and then kind of casually tosses his notebook to the side and leans back like, my ears are open and my mouth is shut. And he makes a gesture as if he is zipping his mouth.
If only you had an arcane lock.
And another one. This book that you are writing. I have heard your reputation, and I have glimpsed into one of your books. No stories. This is not something that can be put into a story. I don't want this to be fantastical, to be whimsical, to be sold. I may be a storyteller and an entertainer. This is not entertaining.
No, of course. I should point out that my next book is on the dwarves. I had no intention of writing about the gem dragonborns, especially not in a way that would be, how should I say, fantastical. If it would please you, I would very well listen to what you have to say, with no intention of writing it. If your goal here is to share in the pain, so to speak, and perhaps get some answers that I might be able to provide.
I'm not looking for answers. I will tell you what has happened. The inner workings. Everything.
Okay.
But you must listen.
I'm listening.
Is there a window out of this place?
There probably is one, but it's not open. I think these buildings probably have some semblance of comfort and light, so there probably is windows.
Tara is going to go over to a window.
Okay.
And open it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to gesture for Volo to come beside them.
He stands. He's a bit unsure about what's going on, but he moves up towards you.
And Tara is going to look out of the window. And then they're going to say, after I escaped, one of the first things that anybody told me that I traveled to was this. I do not look to the sky for savior, for salvation. I do not pray to any gods for help. They have all but abandoned us here, on this plane. So instead, I look to the soil, to the earth, to the soil beneath my feet, to the world around me, and I do what I can. I pray to no God. I become my own God. I change the earth to my liking. I change the world to how I want it to be, through my own effort and no one else's. He was my first traveling companion. And he set me right upon my path. He inspired me to take my life and shape it into what I wanted it to be. I admire hard work, Vodo. I do. And I will help. And at this point, Terra is just going to essentially tell Volo everything.
Like, everything that's happened to them, you mean? Essentially.
Yeah, everything that essentially they're going to go over their entire backstory with like a heavy focus on the dwarves. And I mean, they're going to go down to how the fortress was laid out. Grab a notebook and kind of draw it out. I mean, leadership structure, names of people, what they did.
At this point, I would say at this point, he asks at the very least for this stuff. He's like, can I make notes of this? Or is this off limits as well?
It was mostly so that you would actually listen and pay attention to me.
Very well. I agree. Notes are off the table.
I will write it down for you after.
Agreeable. I must say, it's a heavy story. I realize my reputation precedes me as a braggart, but I must say I've lived a darn sight longer than you, and I have not experienced as much pain in my years as you have in your short years. I can only apologize for the way that the world has treated you. I appreciate you telling me your story.
And I think for the first time, Volo would see Terra just smile a little bit and give a small chuckle, and Terra would say, I think a large reason why people don't like you is because all you do is talk about yourself.
Possibly.
But you didn't.
There is a sensitive... Sorry.
I'm impressed.
He gives you a small smile. He's like, well, there is a sensitive side in there somewhere. I mean, I think at the very least that might be why Elminster keeps me around, despite hating me, sir. Well, it certainly paints a dark light over the dwarves. Puts me off wanting to be near them. Still, if I may say, your experience sounds more akin to a cult or a sect, I suppose.
Yes, on my travels, I met many a dwarf, and I had my reservations at them, of course. But as I got to know a few, I realized it was a small minority.
It was a...
But I still am cautious.
I understand. I can imagine that a life like that would cause you to be looking over your shoulders all times. Obviously I cannot relate on the same level of emotional connection, but unfortunately my lifestyle has often led me to be worried that people are after me. It is not a comfortable life to lead at points. I think you've done fairly well for yourselves, all things considered.
Thank you.
I promise you this. I realized that it was an earlier drunken promise that I should try and get you a meeting with Elminster. But I think he would be curious. I think he would... He's a very busy man. I will make you no lies there. Very busy man. Very hard to pin down. But at heart, he's a 1,000-year-old softy. I reckon he might be able to... Well, I don't know. Put the word out, maybe?
That would be greatly appreciated. I would love to speak to him.
Yes, I think he would enjoy speaking to you as well. If you give me some time, say a few days, I shall attempt to make contact with him. I suspect, well, I imagine perhaps the courtyard of here would be a good enough place. I'm sure that Elminster has some old books lying around you can blag for entry. Imagine that. One of the heroes of the realm. A person who has saved the realm countless times, and you still need to give a book for entry. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Suppose.
It is a little odd. But I guess it makes sense in some way.
Yes, well, they're dogged by design and faith-obsessed creatures, the Avowed of Candlekeep. I can't help but respect them for some extent, although I suppose to you it might seem rather odd, being avoidant of things like religion.
Yes. It is odd.
Strange things, isn't it? So, I do appreciate you telling me your story. If I could say one thing though, I would contest a single point that you made.
Yes?
I don't believe the gods have left us on this plane. That's not to say I'm a religious man. Well, I suppose everybody in Faerun is religious somehow. But I don't necessarily go and make offerings when I cross the sea or through the forest. Not a strong believer in that. And admittedly, perhaps it's probably gotten me into some scrapes. But that being said, I believe that, well, they're physically there somewhere. I don't think they've left. I think their purview has been limited, but, well, you've read up on the gem Dragonborn recently.
Yes. It's,
Did you? I assume you didn't go through any of that stuff with him.
No.
No.
But he did bring the book with him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I did. I read the book that they gave me.
It seems there's a lot of interesting figures from there. And even if they're not still around, well, perhaps there's some story to be followed there that could bring you some sense of closure or connection. Could be worth spending your time.
Yes. But no. This is for later. And they're just going to tap the book and say, I have a family of my own that I need to find first.
Of course. Your troop.
Yes.
If I could spirit you away to the Feyrilds right now, I would. But
there is something in this book that did catch my eye. It was about the mythos of the Gem Dragonborn. Apparently, the Black Opal ones were planar travelers. And in such, they learned how to communicate through planes. I feel like I might be able to do that.
Possibly. It's hard to say. I have to admit my own knowledge. For once, I will admit that my knowledge on the subject is pretty weak. I've heard whisperings. Elminster, though, there's a darn sight chance he may have met some of the progenitors of the Black Opal Dragonborn. Perhaps. An old man, you know. Very old man.
Would Tara know anything of Elminster?
Give me a history check. I'd say even with a shit one, yeah, you will have heard of Elminster. Only that this guy is like Elminster is like famously like he's somewhere in the region of about 1400 years old. And he's lived through multiple civilizations rising and falling. He's immensely powerful, often nicknamed the Old Mage or the Sage of Shadowdale. most people in the realms will have at least heard of Elminster. He is the chosen of Mistra, so one of the chief people of magic on the Sword Coast. Well, sorry, in just Faerun in general. And he, on multiple occasions, has saved the people of Faerun from various world-ending threats. He is like a legend of old type figure who's still alive. And he spends a lot of his time walking the plains.
Oh. Okay, interesting.
You can only suspect how busy a man like that might be. But Volo seems genuine when he says that he might well be able to get him to talk to you.
Well, I appreciate it, Volo. I really do.
As I say, I should try my best. And on my honor, I will, I'm not going to write about this. This is between you and I, for now, I think. It's not my job to tell your story.
Well.
Besides, you and I are fellow bards. You know the best way to tell your story. Hopefully it has a happier end.
I will forge the end myself. But let me leave you with some useful information. And Tara's going to write down essentially the names of everyone who he remembers. And say, here is everyone that I remember from the fortress. Avoid them at all costs.
Yes,
they
certainly.
Are vile beings.
It may be that after I set out from here, if I make my way back towards, sorry, he would know the name off the top of his head. I can't remember what it is called. What's the fucking northern dwarf city called? Floating. Mirabar. That's where the seat of power is. He essentially says, should I make my way back to Mirabar? I can try my best to make them aware of this situation. Perhaps not all the details about you, but I suspect, well...
No.
I would... No?
I will handle it myself. I will get my own closure with them in my own way.
He kind of looks at you like, I've heard a lot of people say things like that in my time. It's a dangerous thing to fall into.
Don't worry. I'm not going to kill them.
Good. I wouldn't want that set on my conscience.
No.
Yes. Anyway, give me some time. Give me some time, and I shall make preparations. In the meantime, well, seems like you're, perhaps, I don't know, in the meantime, you might turn to your group. They did not seem to like me very much.
No, they are not very diplomatic. I am the figurehead.
I suppose. That's the dog.
They're just like me.
Okay.
Sorry, no worries.
That's fine.
He just kind of goes like, I would like to claim that I'm the figurehead. However, it seems like my words often get me into more trouble.
Yes. Some departing wisdom before we head back to the group. With the utmost respect and kindness, Volo, keep your mouth shut.
And he seems like he just punched him in the gut, but also just kind of nods like, yeah, I really ought to get better at that.
And think of others. You showed a surprising amount of empathy today. Something that I never knew you had.
Well, given that I'm coming up on my 187th birthday, probably a lesson I should have learned by now.
Tara just like is a little taken aback by that, and just kind of looks him up and down.
He just kind of gives you he gives you a grin like, ah. Now don't you go telling anybody Volo's an old man.
Never would have thought of it. But it's nice to have empathy.
Yes, I would have to agree. You spoke well, and you spoke true. And I'll remember. It's been a pleasure meeting you, Tara. I do wish you well.
Same to you, Volo. And you as well.
And I promise that my next book will be better.
I believe it.
He gives you a small bow. He's like, safety on the path and all that. I shall continue my reading for now.
You as well. And I think Tara is going to... Oh, there's another one.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Dog moment.
So true.
The yapping.
They do be yipping and yapping.
Bloggers escaped to the real world.
I know, I was about to say who let blog in here.
They literally blinked inside.
So true.
No.
Where'd he come from?
Tara is just going to like take a step forward, and they're going to kind of just put a hand on Volo's shoulder and kind of just look them in the eye and just give a little head nod. And they're going to cast heroism.
Oh, feels bolstered by it.
Yeah, on Volo. Mostly just to give him a good feeling as they leave.
Yeah, he feels it. He gives you a smile. You have to admit, as much of a horrible braggart as the man is, looks pretty handsome for 187.
Yeah. And with like a small nod, Tara's gonna head out.
And so you do. You make your way out.
Yeah, they're gonna reconvene with the group in the room. What was also the policy on getting a copy of the book?
To pay for it.
Yeah, you'd have to pay for. They have like a. They have essentially like I think it's. If I go back to the. I need to open Candlekeep up again. You go back. I think it's like this. You see these buildings down here. I believe one of those is. Have it somewhere. I believe that one of those, the House of the Binder is this one at the bottom, and essentially the House of the Binder is it's where you can go and you request a copy of a book or a scroll to be made. The entire text is replicated in full, accurately. Like they painstakingly go through it, maintaining all the intent and integrity of the original author. It would probably take a while, though. I would say the book that you've got now it's probably not like, I would say it's probably actually not the largest tome in the world, most likely. So you reckon it would take them a few days and probably cost you somewhere in the region of 50 gold, 75 gold, something like that.
Oy. Okay. Okay, Tara's gonna go back to the group. And then,
So
yeah.
You find them all doing that. I think you're probably all about finished up your individual tasks.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was eventful.
What time of day is it?
Like midday. I think you travelled in the morning. I think you've been here for a few hours, most likely.
So is it worth us doing it, trying to go to the place today, or is it worth going tomorrow so we've got like half a day to get there, do the thing, and then come back?
Yeah, that might be a good idea. It's about half day's travel. So, you as far as I'm aware, the buildings at the bottom down here are essentially the map up. Hang on. They're essentially dormitories, though. Like, so this is like a tavern called the Half, like a modern, like a kind of modest-sized tavern, which is far larger on the inside. And connected with it is a bunch of guest rooms. It's a bunkhouse called the House of Rest, and I would say again things that Uruk would know. It looks like a 3-story building with a certain amount of rooms that can just infinitely grow, basically. Like the inside is a big, giant, extra-dimensional space. And you can just stay there, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, so you got that as an option if you would like to. If there's anything you'd like to do, let me know.
Which one of us got the Feywild book?
Arian.
I've got it.
Is it Aaron?
Yeah. Arian's got it.
I think Tara, after coming in and kind of seeing that everyone is finished up, is gonna go look over at Arian and say, is there anything important in that book?
It's mostly sort of customs and different royal lines and things like that in terms of who to be aware of and how to interact with them and how to not get stuck, but more than it is about how to get there.
And about getting out?
Not much.
Not really. No. Yeah, I think if we're going to stay here for the rest of the day, there's a part of him that he's going to go like that. He's actually going to take some notes on it then, and actually get something out of it, in terms of because he thinks that of all the books he could read, this is probably not the most useful, but actually it's something for when they get there. In terms of as a long-term project, it's probably useful.
Yeah, absolutely. I can send you over notes and stuff after the session as well. I do have some.
Yeah, because I don't think we need the stuff we need now. It's more just as and when we get there, he'd want to know this stuff.
Good to have a who's who, basically.
Yeah.
I think Tara's just gonna nod to themselves, and you said there's like a person in here that gets us books, right?
Yeah, you get assigned and avowed, and you ask them to bring books. Just one moment or so. Hold that thought. I'm gonna go toilet real quick. I'll be back.
I'm gonna go grab the drink.
All right.
Also.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything we want to do to more, or we like do an overnight and then get to the morning and then head out for these books.
Yeah, I can't think of much. I mean, from my perspective, it's just kind of processing a lot of what's happened. It's just kind of quietly contemplating. So he's probably got not much that he's doing, to be fair.
I'm back.
Hello.
All right. For the sake of my notes, what was the exact age of Volo? Was like 178? 87.
Yeah,
Okay.
187.
All right, good then. Wrong way around.
Yeah.
And Mister was 40,000 or 40,000?
About
Years old.
1400 years old.
14?
Yeah, like 1400.
Yeah, 1400.
1400,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Notes fixed. Thank you.
Yeah. He was born in somewhere in the region of like the year 180 or something. Like he's been around. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
We all here?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So continue.
Yeah, while we were just saying that, I think, as in at least me and Erin and Ulrich, I think we've done what we wanted to for this day. So
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I've got
Tara's-
two roll 20s open. Whoops.
Ooh.
nope.
Could you continue?
Roll 40.
Tara's going to turn to the Avowed
Mhm.
in a room.
Mhm.
And they're going to ask, is there any books on, specifically, on getting to the Feywilds and leaving?
I think Vishandi, was it?
Sounds right.
Vushadi.
That's it.
She takes a look at you and she shakes her head and she's like, I believe that comes under the purview of somewhat limited information. That being said, it's a topic that it is a topic that Janusi himself knows a lot about and keeps a lot of the tomes on. I can tell that you're not the first to try and enter Feywild, and often I have to send people away disappointed. Though in this case, well, if you're perhaps potentially doing some... I couldn't help but listen in yesterday. Apologies. I believe he would go through what he knows with you if you help him out. He's not a bad man.
Yes. I just thought I would ask.
Ultimately, you don't get if you don't ask, so I understand that. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
That's going to take a moment to think, and going to shake their head. No, not that I can think of right now.
Do you need, he looks at you like, you look tired. Do you need, guiding to the rooms of rest, or will you make your own way?
I can make my own way. Thank you.
She nods. She's just like, I'm here if you need anything else.
Tara's going to walk back to the group and sort of address everybody and say, well, it looks like there's no more information that we can gain through the normal methods. I guess we could try heading out. I would also like to get a copy of this book, but I might not have enough money.
Would Ulrich know the prices?
I think Eric could,
I mean,
Eric could definitely eyeball this book and go like, yeah, about 60 gold.
yeah, he'll relay and just be like, yeah, it's probably going to take about 60 gold for that. It's a bit there. But I understand your desire to read it, but I feel like the scribes are normally pretty efficient. It doesn't take too long to copy. We can probably have one copied when we fully decide to leave, because at the moment, if we're leaving, it's probably just going to be for the day.
Yes. Well, if it is going to cost around 60 gold, May someone lend me around 12 to cover the cost?
12. Yeah, I've got that.
Thank you.
If you deduct 12 gold from yourself, and then I guess Terra, you deduct 60. You kind of like.
Oh, 48. 48, right?
Yeah, no, it's all my gold.
Yeah, sorry, all your gold. Sorry. Yeah. I didn't know if you had it, but well, I mean, yeah. Deduct what you got, and then you can just kind of run it by the House of the Binder and just instruct them. They would probably tell you what I told you, which is it would take a couple of days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Terra will do that when they leave. But so it seems we are all finished. What is the plan?
Well, the town does seem to be half a day's travel. It's already halfway through this day, so we could, we could go now. I think if we, by the time we arrive there and do what we need to be done, it's probably going to be a long trek through the dark back. So we could, or camping out somewhere out in the wilderness overnight. Or we could just wait till morning, head out early, and get the work done during the daytime. If you're robbing someone and it's during if you're robbing someone and it's not in, it's especially somewhere that remote, I don't think it matters whether you do it day or night.
I think if anything, it's probably easier in the day because you're more likely to spot stuff like traps. So within within Candlekeep itself, is there like a tavern or somewhere where like the Ulrich equivalent like acolytes hang out?
Yeah, pretty much. I would say that like all of the scholars and probably the Avowed also, they use this place called the Hearth, which is essentially, as I say, like Eric would be familiar with it fairly well. It's essentially it is essentially a big tavern. It's like a modest-sized tavern. It's got like a warm light that comes from a pair of small windows on either side. And walking inside of it, you realise that it's about 3 times bigger on the inside than it appears. There's a lot of extra-dimensional magic going on within the walls of Candlekeep, and that place is no exception. There is probably a decent number of scholars in there, for sure.
I think if we're gonna we're early night, but we've got time before then. I think we'd probably just Aaron at least would probably think to go hang out for a bit at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Have a meal, rest up, sort of thing.
Okay.
Before the night.
So we head out tomorrow then. Rest for tonight.
Yes.
Doesn't sound terrible.
Okay.
Some,
Well, I am not sure what you all are going to do in the meantime, but I am going to go to the tavern and play some music and hopefully get some coin, because I will have no money. Eric, do you know how the people here like taverns? Do they drink?
I think you'll probably see Eric think, well, he's probably been in the tavern somewhat. He's probably not he probably was in there a lot less frequently than a lot of other guests.
Yeah.
He'd probably think and be like, well, I'm sure there's some that are quite fond of their drink, but it's probably a lot less rowdy and a lot more about probably obscure poems or songs that are more what you'd consider or masterworks as well, stuff you'd more consider high quality and all that. It tends to be a bit stuck up at times.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like a nice bar. They are. There's definitely, it's not just scholars in there. There's all sorts of guests to Candlekeep over the time. I would say, as far as you know, there is.
I'm thinking if we're doing that, if it's that sort of the vibe, right? Because I could using like history, like, and plus especially like growing up with access to an elfish library, I imagine I know some there's like random songs and poems I know from my youth.
Hell yeah, yeah.
And then as like the next most charismatic character, I could probably actually help with performing.
Well, I mean, as you kind of say that, Tara kind of just like, you see that they get an idea, and they walk over to the Avowed, and they say, "Do you actually have any books on the music, ancient music, masterworks, legendaries, very well-known official things that smart people would like?"
She laughs at you saying smart people would like. She's like, oh, they're like any old crap. Let me see.
It didn't get me any old crap.
Oh, but I can do that.
Can I pick specific like things that I would have read that I or at least things like maybe I've heard of that like, or at least like historic bards that I know, like elfish bards for example, that I know of because I've read about them.
You decide to go for a vibe. I think maybe maybe you think, you know what, like ancient elvish songs or something like that. Like kind of like I reckon one thing that comes to your mind, Arian, is like you've read books, you've read a bunch of books kind of going through the contents of like old performances / plays in your time. Probably maybe tried to figure out how to sing along type thing to kind of keep your mind occupied. So you probably spout out a couple of names of like old like elvish plays or something like that, with like elvish musicals or something like that.
Yeah.
Better than me.
Yeah, well, exactly. You would you would not know that. Yes. Maybe
I just thought of something funny.
Go on.
Journey can speak Elvish, so if there's any word that Terra doesn't like know how to pronounce, Journey can help.
Terra's never seen a lick of Elvish.
You just kind of, you just like, you don't really know how to sing it. You're just kind of sounding it out. What should we name it? I want to call it Silvery Moon something. Sonnets of Silvery Moon. I don't know.
Ooh, that's fun. The Silvery Moon Sonnets.
Yeah.
That's better. That's better, yeah.
A sonnet's usually a poem, but it's kind of like, it's like a musical performance of these sonnets. The Silvery Moon Sonnet. I think, actually, I will say that, what's her name? Oh god, I'm so sorry, I keep saying her name. I'm sorry, lady. Vishani. Vishani is an 87-year-old moon elf. And she hears you say sonnets, like Silvery Moon sonnets, and she just kind of goes, oh god, it's been a while since I heard those. I'm gonna have to come along. Hey, she just kind of nods like, I'll fetch the books for you. I believe we have manuscripts, scripts for the performance, even.
That is good. We can work with it.
I reckon if you're trying to, she just kind of eyes you up like, all right, let me guess. I'll be direct. Your goal here is to play the bar and try and play something that will earn you some tips.
Yeah, mostly, but it do calm my mind as well.
True. I mean, hey, all I'm saying is, old Elvish musical, probably the right crowd for it.
Oh, and while you're done there, if you can find anything, just as a slight curiosity of mine, any old draconic things as well.
Like, history of Dragonborn or books in Draconic?
No. Songs, sonnets, poems.
Yes. I reckon, I believe I might be able... They should all be in a similar area. I'll see what I can find. I'll bring back some things for your perusal. She pops off.
May I also request a book? I like.
She turns around on like a pivot, like fucking hell. Yes. Sorry. Pardon me.
I hand her back the book I've read through already. It's like basically more of the same, please. Like more bestiaries, anything you can find of the sort.
She nods. She's like, yeah, okay.
Thank you.
She just kind of looks at the thickness of this book, like, you read that quick? Barely touched the sides. Yes, very well. Shall I have them delivered to the tavern, the rooms of rest?
The rooms of rest, please.
Yes.
Okay. Then I shall. I suggest that you go and get if you wish to stay together as a group, should be accommodated. But you'll have to go and you probably want to go and put your word in now rather than later.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yes.
You just smile.
And kind of like as she leaves, Tara kind of just like leans over to Aaron and says, I don't actually know any songs in Draconic.
Well, neither do I, but we'll muddle through it together.
One of them does not speak a word of Elvish. The other one does not speak a word of Draconic, and they're doing nothing but.
Oh no, Arian has Draconic because of
Dragon.
Pseudo Dragon.
Oh, fucking never mind. Maybe Draconic's the play. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Draconic might genuinely be the play because
yeah.
And this is me like backfilling stuff. But I was thinking what would make sense in terms of like why also Arian's got such high charisma.
Yeah.
His dad's a bard, so his dad's actually like not a well-known bard, but like is an elvish bard.
Yeah. So
it's why he's like he does care about music in the sense of when he was very young. He tried to like get into music, so he thought his dad would take an interest in. Didn't work, but he tried.
He tried to.
Yeah.
I like the idea, honestly.
Yeah, so like his skills and like charisma and stuff his skill and charisma comes from a place of trying to relate to his dad, and didn't work, but he spent a lot of his youth trying to develop it.
He's learned instruments and things over the time, right? Like,
well, I think he's like learned things, but he's also learned like general. But he wasn't as good at it as it didn't fall naturally to him, and his dad already didn't like him anyway, so it didn't help. See, he's probably decent. Like he can understand music, he can read music, he's familiar with music, but he wouldn't be the best performer. So he's not like proficient in performance, but he is.
Yeah, he's knowledgeable about. He's listened to lots of CDs. He's listened to lots of CDs and can sing along.
Yeah,
pretty
and he can like read sheet music and stuff because he's read a lot of plays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In that sense.
You can blag your way through it. I think this is a good idea. I'm kind of imagining like you guys like. Skipping ahead a bit, I imagine that she delivers you like a number of books on like Elvish, Draconic music, like a mix of both. She just gets you like a couple of them. Just says, "Good luck," and I imagine that you probably follow her advice and you get like a dormitory for the lot of you for the night.
Yes.
Basically.
And I mean, at that point, Tara would have gone to the House of Binding and requested a copy of the book.
I think they put that through for you. They start working on it, as far as you can tell, pretty much immediately. They simply tell you in a couple of days' time the copy should be ready for collection, or they can deliver it for an extra charge.
I will collect.
Yeah, they're happy with that. They take a note of that. and they get to work, as far as you can tell.
Mhm. And I think Tara is just kind of stick around Arian and gonna practice a little bit with Arian.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. Aaron's gonna like kind of like, shake loose some of the knowledge of of music in his head, sort of thing.
Yeah. You're kind of like trying to remember your ABCs of music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's probably a thing he hasn't almost like tried to do for the last like 5 years or something.
I think that's I think this is I like this. I like this concept. Should we? I think you guys spend a bit of time rehearsing, figuring out exactly what set list of music you're going to play, or something like that.
Yeah.
Should we skip the details and just go ahead to you guys?
Yeah, I think we just go ahead.
I think we should.
Because also, part of me also does want to get to tomorrow morning and we can go. Do the adventuring.
Okay.
We can fast forward this part a little bit.
All right. Okay. Absolutely. In which case, I'm going to say that you guys. I think you guys probably go inside of the half. I'll get some background music for the half real quick. But
I will say, Arian, something that you do notice about Tara while you're rehearsing, entirely different kind of
attitude.
Vibe coming from Tara. Yeah.
Isn't
Very
that
much
like focused professional type thing, would you say, almost?
It very much kind of fluctuates between like a focused professional and just somebody who's goofing off entirely. Like I would say at some points you would even think that they're not taking anything seriously. Like they would just be playing some part and then they'd entirely turn it into a different song. And like
I think there's a mix of what you're getting from Aaron of there, where it's like there's a mix of like sadness of like this is sort of almost what he was when he was young. This is what he hoped for with his dad, that his dad would care about him and they could do stuff together.
Yeah.
But two, there's also like a slight anger of like the goofing on stuff is a bit too familiar to him. Like it gets him ever so slightly annoyed, but then he realizes who it is, and he's alright with it again. But it's just like there's that slight like underlying like pangs and like involuntarily like reactions.
Like like the whole party's basically just adopted you. Like okay, this is my cool dragon dad.
He's much better than Elf Dad. Elf Dad was terrible. At least Dragon Dad likes me.
Yeah, Dragon Dad will play music with me. Fuck Elf Dad. In my house, everybody hates Elf Dad.
But yeah, entirely different vibe going on. I will say, as like they're walking out to like perform, does Tara notice that Arian has stage fright?
I don't think he has stage fright so much because he is like still naturally charismatic. It's not about stage fright. It's more that because we rehearsed, he's got over like his little like. It's not even like performance anxiety so much as it's just a bit of nervousness around. This is a thing he's always wanted, but he never got. So there's like that sadness more than it's anxiety.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, Tara's gonna do this.
I knew it.
As they're going on stage, or before, they're going to cast heroism again.
I'm so
just
glad.
So you know what it is, yeah.
So glad.
And that is literally all of their first level spell slots for today.
You feel a bolstered sense of resolve as you kind of walk up to the. You walk up onto. Do you guys like go up to the bar and say, "Hey, can we play music?" Or do you do it? Like that's my other question.
Tara would go up and ask. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Aaron would almost like lead that conversation as he's trying to like almost like manage you, or like letting you be the talent, as it were, because it's the one thing he knows about from his dad. It's like there's a level like his dad doesn't do any of the negotiating; he just lets that happen for someone else.
Yeah, my client wants to play on your stage, man.
Yeah.
I think Tara would like. They would start talking and then notice you talk, and they'd just be like, "Okay."
I would say you notice that there is like this bar is comfortable. I'd say first thing that strikes you, bigger on the inside, about 3 times as big on the inside as it looks. It's big. Bar's got like 20 odd stools down it, and they are busy tonight. There is people from all over the realms, really, like just all sorts of different like races. You got like people, clearly scholars, people that look more adventuring types. Just really like a bit of everybody, really. There's also a number of the avowed that you've probably seen throughout the day. And there is there's a human barman. He's got a beard. He probably sees you approach and asks if you want a drink. And I guess you lead in with your sales pitch.
Yeah, like, as in, like, it's probably Aaron goes straight in of like, look, this is Terra, a very famous performer from across the Sword Coast. We thought while we're here in overnight in at Candlekeep, we thought you might perform.
Say again, sir.
While we're overnight at Candlekeep, we thought we might, bless this place with a performance. If you are happy for us to do so.
The guy nods like, yeah, sure thing. Just maybe not. He's about to say not too loud. He's like, you know what, do whatever. I like a good performance. You want a drink? I'll give you one on the house.
Sure.
What do you fancy?
I think he'd get an elven wine, and then it's something stronger for. He'd order for Terra, and he'd pick something a bit like stronger on the base.
You do not want to get your singer pissed up. Trust me, it's a bad idea.
No, but this is they're made of a bit stronger stuff, as you can see.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
How tall is Arian?
He's like, I don't know, what did I say? He's like 5'8", which is I think it's how tall I am. So like 5'8". So not average height of an English male or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Terra's just 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're like a head taller than Arian, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more actually. If it's like 1.5 feet nearly.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
Yeah. And I think Terra will just shrug and say, "Yeah, I don't mind a drink."
Guy just kind of goes like, "All right." he gets a wine for Arian, and he gets you like some spirits. Not really sure what they are. He's just like, "Depending how good you do, I'll get the good shit out later."
I appreciate it.
He's like, look, usually I'd say keep the noise down, but honestly, just do whatever. But just I like anything really. So it's just as much for me as it is for these boring bastards.
I think Terra is going to try to get a read of the room, basically, and see how much energy they should put into their performance.
I'd say there's a mix. There's a lot of kind of stodgy-looking scholars, but there's the avowed are varied in ages. You see your avowed come in. She seems interested. There's a lot of adventurers here for things. Volo's here.
There's me somewhere in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would I assume the dragon would be allowed to hang out with us, like, because it's a magical familiar.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine.
So I think the dragon's going to come on
familiars.
stage, especially if we're going to be doing draconic stuff.
Mhm.
Where I think there's a level like he's going to be using the dragon to sing. He won't sing himself,
yeah.
but he'll sing through his dragon.
Absolutely. That's excellent.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I think technically, what is it? Technically, I think I get advantage of this because of actor. But where's it going?
I would have given you advantage on this anyway. I'll be honest.
Oh no, because there's like a weird thing of like actor lets you get advantage on it if you're trying to pass yourself off as a different person. And I was like, I'd make the argument that the dragon trying to do my sing, like do some level of singing feels like it's passing itself off as something is not itself.
Yeah, exactly. I love this idea.
All right. So I think after getting a drink, Tara's just gonna down it.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
really easily. Yeah, there we go.
Absolutely.
Arian's
Wait
gonna
for
have
it.
like drank
Yeah.
a bit for like courage, but not have finished it, so he's kept it there for like later on as well.
Mhm.
In case he gets, he's got heroism, so he feels a lot more bolstered than he did when he came in, but
Mhm.
he's got it there as like a comfort of like if he needs something.
And I think
Like even just something to do with his hands, he's got something to do.
as they're kind of like walking up to stage, I mean, Tara's gonna kind of pat them on the shoulder and kind of lean down and like whisper to them, and they're gonna say, "Let's start off slow with the Elven songs, then we ramp up to the Draconic songs later if the room allows it."
Right. We're
Yeah.
gonna start off with like some of the songs off of the Nine Inch Nails Ghost album, and then we're gonna work our way up to like heavy metal. All right. Like,
Yeah, you gotta get your set list.
The ramp up. Yeah, this is my eclectic album. I love it.
Tara's also going to give
would.
bardic inspiration as well
Of
to
course.
Arian.
Of course.
It's a D. Is it a D8 now?
No, it's still a D6. I just get back on short rests now.
Oh, that's what it is.
It'll be
yeah.
a D8 soon, I think.
Yes, soon it will be D8.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's eventually it will be.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
And to keep it short, we were just going to perform.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh shit. Okay, my thing didn't quite work. Yeah. I'm kind of imagining. Okay, let's. You kind of it's not skip the song. I would say that you basically like. Oh, never mind. There we go. I would say that you probably like. You play. I think you'd say you kind of start off with your kind of gentler type songs, working way through it, kind of piecing together the language of the song as best as you can. If you would like, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, I want Terra. Let's say
Yes.
advantage performance plus 1d6 from your bardic inspiration that you gave to Arian.
Advantage. I'm just going to roll D6 after.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 33.
Yeah, 33.
I would say that you perform this together. Like the Elvish songs are really quite airy and beautiful, and you notice a lot of people start watching very intently as you go into it. You feel like fucking smashing it, right? And like you see like near the end of your kind of Elvish set list, you see nary a dry eye in the room. And then you move on to the door, and then you're like, right, let's switch gears. You move on to the Draconic stuff, which is a lot heavier, right? It's a lot more like closer to rock than the previous stuff. You know, you've got the crowd listening, and now you get their attention, type of thing, right?
Yeah.
And you notice, let's say, there's adventurers, there's scholars. They all seem to actually get up and really get into it. Even some of the stuffier looking ones seem into it. You notice there's a large ogre wearing a headband of intellect. You watch him kind of stumble out of a room, and he seems to just be stood on the sidelines, kind of like bobbing his head. You got like adventurers who are just enjoying it. This is a lot different to what they're used to in these walls. And you go down a treat. I'd say you play for a couple hours, something like that. People come up afterwards like, that was amazing, loved it. Some people talk about the kind of like scholarly side of it, but really people are just like, that was really, really needed, that type thing. 33, I think. Gonna add 33 gold.
That's it.
Yeah. Keep in mind, everyone in here has got a bit of money on them. So.
Yeah, I think Terra he'd give it all to Terra in for this first one at least, because he's like, he feels like he's learned something about himself a little bit as well, being able to perform first time properly.
You feel you feel a lot better off of it, really.
And I think Terra's going to be very composed about it all, and I mean, they purposely did not be super extravagant.
Yeah.
They did like do their whole disco spiel with the dancing lights as well, especially for the beginning.
No.
Yeah.
You work your way up to it.
Yeah. No, but you use the disco lights for the slow parts.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then you can get them to move around a little bit more on the faster parts. But yeah, they're gonna take it in stride, and
you did a damn fine job.
Lots of big bows, and it gonna like as they finish, they're gonna kind of like scooch over to Ariane and kind of like grab them by the shoulder, kind of pull them in, and kind of like lean over and say, "You did great."
Yeah, Aaron just got like a beaming smile that won't go away.
Aww. If anything happens to Arian, I would kill everyone and then kill myself.
And I mean, of course, very big bows from both of them,
and the dragon, like all three of them. Like the dragon's now like up to his waist as well. So, like,
yeah, big.
Oh
big
god, I
dragon,
forgot it was giant now.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's pretty big.
Very big bows, and they're gonna make their way over to at least Tara's gonna make their way over to the bar.
And I think, sure enough, the guy, as he said, he seems incredibly happy with how you've done today, and just kind of goes like, "I'll tell you, that was beautiful." Just kind of waves his arm behind the bar. He's like, "Take a pick."
Well, Arian, is there anything that you would like?
I think he's just gonna pick like a slightly fancier wine. So it's still like similar to what he was having, but it's just a bit fancier, and it's one of those where he's probably had it like once ever on a special occasion.
Yeah. I think the bloke kind of turns around, pulls this bottle, and then just puts it down in front of the both of you, like, keep it. You made my day.
Well, would you look at that? Well,
if you had to wager, this bottle of wine's worth more than the tips you got.
Ooh.
I am not usually a wine person, but no problem in indulging. And I think Tara's going to serve both of them a little bit of wine so they can taste it. Have fun with it, yeah.
It's good. Tastes expensive.
Yeah.
Very much not my thing. But it is. God, what's the
everyone
word?
else is here, right? So I think Arian's
Yeah.
almost wanting to like share this with everyone because he's just happy that they've managed to get, do something quite,
Fun.
quite
and good.
personally, well, fun and also like personally, like quite satisfying.
Yeah.
You did
He's kind of
amazing.
riding that high and like wanting to share it with all of the guys. Well,
Yeah.
sharing it with everyone basically.
Can I retroactively do something?
Yeah, sure.
Can I use my enthralling performance
Yeah.
to try to charm? Hold on, what's my charisma modifier? 4 of the richest looking people there, so that they would give me a little more tips.
Yeah, you look at whoever's wearing like nice coats and furs. And stuff. Yeah, I'd allow that. All right, clever. Let's go. Tell you what, here's your extra tips. Roll me a persuasion roll, please. Let's call it with advantage as well.
Wouldn't you know that's my?
I know. I'm fully aware.
Ooh, I didn't overall. Oh,
An additional 19 gold.
oh shit!
Yeah.
I have more gold. That's always.
This also marks the first time Journey was not the target of enthralling performance.
But yeah, it's true. Yeah.
That is so true. You've been enthralled many times.
And actually, of course, Terra is actually going to give back the 12 gold.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's fair.
Mm.
Arian had 12 gold back to you.
Yeah.
You almost left today richer than you came into it, Terra.
I'm only like 10 gold off.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah. And I think, after that, after the bar has died down and everyone stops fawning over Terra, they're going to serve everyone in the party kind of a glass of the wine. They're going to give Scraps a little bit. Like just a little tiny little bit, since they're still a child.
How are you giving this to me?
In a glass.
Oh, okay.
What were you expecting?
Most men ask the
You
question.
give me the bottle. I was gonna take a swig.
Child alcoholic.
I'm going to taste it, and if I like it, I'm going to save it because I'm going to be experimenting.
Oh my god, it's brewer's kit.
Yeah.
You're gonna be trying to like break this down. Like, I must make this wine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Scraps
good.
artificer build. I'm going for it.
Oh my god, I love the idea of you becoming an artificer. It's so fucking silly. I love it.
Oh my god.
I think I would say this, Scraps. You ain't drank that much booze in your time, but yeah, it tastes sweet, nice. You like it? It's like a fruit.
Excuse
one.
me, I've had a lot.
Yeah, you've drank
A lot of crap though, probably.
Yeah,
It's like,
you drank like swill, like
yeah.
we like drinking it. You know, I don't know. I just don't think homeless orphans drink as much as most people do. I don't know. Like maybe you were like sucking it out of the dishcloth. I don't know. Or stealing it. Actually, I guess that's.
I'd
always
probably be stealing it as much as possible.
That's fair. Actually, that's fair.
The scraps so full of pruna.
so full of fucking, I don't know, what's the cheapest shit ever? Like you're just drinking like Frosty Jacks or something. Fucking getting one of those. Just get you're like the kid that gets those 2-litre bottles of cider from Tesco's. For like 1 gold.
Basically diesel.
But I think to end the night, since we want to, move it forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Tara is going to give a mighty toast to our party.
Mm-hmm.
To our little gathering group of people who ran away from home. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't have words for this right now, but they'll give a toast. It's gonna be good. And I mean, spend the night drinking.
It's a hell of a night. There's a great vibe. People keep coming up to you to compliment you on the music. Volo comes by, gives you a pat on the shoulder, and then kind of just looks like he's going to go to bed. He keeps his mouth shut for once, which he seems to have taken a note out of your book.
I think just giving an acknowledgement nod.
And shall we say pleasant evening of drinking and regaling yourselves with a nice time before heading off to bed and waking up the next day, shall we say?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Excellent. In which case, welcome to the next day. You went back to your assigned sort of dormitory area, slept very comfortably. It was pleasant. And you're back the next morning in Candlekeep, feeling a little bit tired, but good. For a night's partying, you feel all right.
Yeah, I think we still I imagine we still had like a relatively early night because it wasn't like
it wasn't
for a few
late.
hours, but it's like
it
was like early evening sort of thing we would have been performing.
Yeah, exactly. I just imagine you stayed up later drinking.
For me, I think Uruk probably might have been the first to retire, so he was probably the first up. If anything, like while everyone else is still getting up, he might be in the tavern, like, just like, understanding and getting maybe some small stuff or some light information prepared on where they need to go. Asking the tavern keeper of, like, the structures in the nearby area and how, like, the terrain is, like, nearby. Is it awkward to travel? Is there much about? Or is
Like,
it just
around this location? It's not too bad. It's probably relatively hilly, but apart from that, it's still, you'd probably be following along the road a little bit and then going along the kind of grasslands. You reckon you'll be all right? Shouldn't be particularly difficult, if you know what I mean. You have probably passed by this tower. I would say that you've probably been to this tower in the past, by the way, Ulrich.
Well, yeah, he's probably either the one that dropped off the book or was there for establishing, like, the initial communication.
Exactly, yeah. You remember Famvar being a very full of himself, pompous type wizard. So, shall we? Let's in the interest of time, shall we say that you guys travel there? Unless there's anything else you want to do in particular.
I think we can do this while we're traveling.
Yeah.
But I think Tara is going to probably ask Ulrich, and I'm going to say, so what exactly are we doing? This person stole a book.
He bought a stolen book. So it's, hopefully it's not much more than sneaking in to probably not even the most secure location, probably. Towers are structured in different ways. Hopefully it's not in a personal study, maybe it's just in the larger library, and hopefully it's just sneaking into that, finding the book, stealing it, and leaving. If it's in his personal study, I imagine that would be a bit better warded and defended, but I guess we'll cross that problem when we get there. Hopefully it's just in lower levels, easiest to access, should be pretty simple.
Okay, I have no experience in thieving, so I am out of my depth here.
Well, if assuming he's not in, it's and considering we're taking it back to originally owned it, I doubt he's going to contest Candlekeep for it back. He might be a bit angry if he knew it was us, but I can't see much retribution coming our way, so stealth and being super quiet is a bit secondary. Like, obviously don't go destroying, we're not there to destroy the place or tear it down, but leaving evidence I don't think is going to be too much of a concern. We kind of can just go in, get the book, and leave, just try and cause as minimal harm as we can.
I see. Well, I don't think I'll do much use in there. But we can see when we get there.
Yeah. You never know what defenses or wards they might have. Maybe third ancient riddle. I'm sure you know of the Bard's Tales and the ancient tales of doors with riddles and all that, so we'll never know what we'll find. Hopefully nothing is magic.
There may be constructs
just
in
simple
there.
warded doors to break through.
Well, I don't think that I can convince constructs to move aside like I did before. That was luck. Mostly.
I think as you guys chat, you make your way towards the outside. You kind of walk over these rolling hills towards the outside of this. Like at the very top of this hill, it's kind of like a stone staircase leading up to it, and you see a several-story tall tower up on the top of the hill. The hill itself has been fairly clear of forage, and you can tell that perhaps the stone for this tower came from here. The tower is slightly darker coloured stone, and you see balconies jutting out from the upper levels. There's like a slanted roof with blue tiles. The windows all look shuttered, and you can see the door at the very top. As you walk up the stairs, either side of you, there's a number of plants, like left and right, like a lot of somewhat exotic-looking plants, and a number of cacti. You want me to? I shall move you over to the map, shall I?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then if you guys, so let me know, but I think you guys should only be able to see part of this. Can you see here?
It's not yet changed.
Oh, I've not done it.
It's
Sorry.
the
Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
You see?
Oh yeah, no, there's a big black square in the middle.
Yeah. That's because you can't see the inside of that tower, but you can see the outside. And you guys would be on this staircase somewhere. So if you'd like to place yourself, please do.
That's right. I keep forgetting we can do that.
Yeah. I've set up your token and stuff.
Ooh.
Is Blog with us?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. And the seeded dragon.
How is the surrounding area? Is it populated or sparse?
Pretty sparse. There's not a hell of a lot around Kandaku. I would say, so is this about the approximate position / leading order you think you would have taken?
Did we have a long rest?
Yes, yeah, you did, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
You've had a sleep. Just click the long rest button, it'll restore your spell slots.
Mm-hmm.
I think
probably the
Eric
order,
will be
right?
somewhat near the front because he's a bit more of the lead for this one.
Yeah.
I will say, as we're approaching, Terra is in the back, kind of being a little bit of a lookout. So they're going to cast Enhance ability on themselves and give themselves Owl's Wisdom.
Please do. So that gives you passive 18 and advantage on perception checks, right?
Yes.
Excellent. So you do. Keep that in mind. And the dragon still has your 18. Yeah, you're seeing dragons. I can.
If I do that, it just fixes it. Yeah.
Nice. So, organize yourselves however you are, and let's say you're at the very top of the staircase.
Would it be Ulrich and Journey side by side right at the front? Because it'd be Ulrich leading, but Journey there is support almost.
I think as you kind of make your way, as you guys make your way up the steps, you notice on the left there is a lone cactus standing a bit further away from the others. And as you kind of get somewhat near the door, you see the limbs of this cactus start to move. And you watch as a kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like a set of black beady eyes just kind of appear and some kind of simulacrum of a mouth. And you see this cactus essentially stands to attention, pretty much. And stranger still, you hear a voice come out of the cactus. Hello, can I help you?
Mr. Cactus?
Please, young sir, call me Giraffe. How may I make your assistance?
Giraffe, I was wondering if the master of the house was home.
Ah, yes. I have been told to stand here and let any potential visitors know that Great Wizard Famvar is away on business currently. But I can take any messages that you might have.
How can you take messages? Can you write?
I have a brain. Well, I have... It's a good question. I remember things.
Let's...
I'll get closer to the cactus just to examine it. I'm very interested in this thing.
Terra is
Just,
right there as well.
I'll poke it a little bit with
he's like, that's somewhat rude.
Scraps, please. Scraps, please.
I am a cactus, young sir.
I can see that.
Yes. Brought to life by the glory of Famvar.
Yes. What was your name again? I apologize.
He named me Giraffe.
I'm gonna walk behind it.
Zero.
It's all cactus.
Can you see me? I'm just like I'm trying to see if
he's staring at Terra still.
While this is happening, kind of investigate the front door to see if it's like warden and locked, and how so.
So the door is like it's a finely crafted, fairly thick-looking wooden door, and you don't see any immediate keyhole. It seems to have some kind of circular ward placed on it, like some kind of arcane lock, as far as you can tell.
Terra is going to continue kind of... Does the cactus have legs?
It's just kind of stood there.
Okay.
I would say that it seems to at the very least have morphed, and like as far as you can tell, its limbs act somewhat more like arms, but this particular cactus does not seem to move out of the place that he is currently stood.
Zero.
Yes.
Forgive me, but well, I am mostly tagging along for this, but who is your master? I've never heard of them before.
Ah, well, you see, Famvar is a wizard, and he owns this tower. And he made me.
Yes, but you called them the Great earlier. What makes them so great?
Well, I would say giving life to a cactus is a pretty good act.
Is there anything interesting about this cactus? I'm looking around it.
Well, he's talking.
Other than that, obviously.
You see, no, like, I would say, like, aside from that, it just looks like a regular cactus that's somewhat animated, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
He just kind of looks like, well, he makes a lot of business elsewhere, and can cast spells very proficiently. Has good knowledge.
Other cactuses here.
There are numerous cacti on either side of the thing.
Other cacti around to see if they come alive.
You poke. Well, I would say the other ones you notice almost look somewhat more humanoid, but you poke them, they don't move. And you're like, young sir, I must say, try not to just try not to get yourself poked.
Huh? They poke back?
Well, he just kind of tries to gesture himself like, we're covered in spines, sir.
I'm aware. I'm trying to see if there's any more alive.
While this is happening, can I like be moving around the side of the building? Is there like a good like a lower floor balcony on like this side or around the back that I can see?
The only balcony that you can see is about 3 stories up. There's like a bit that juts out of the side of the building, but it's about probably a good, I don't know, how tall do you think a story on a tower would be? Like I don't know, maybe about trying to think.
The normal one's I think 10 feet, and I think there's a spell that conjures a tower.
It's probably somewhere in the region of it's about 50 feet up, I would say. About 50 feet up above you.
Yeah, so I can't see. There's no other balconies.
No, just that one. Yeah. No lower ones around the other side of the building, as far as you can tell.
I will say, Terra is essentially trying to keep the attention of this cactus off of the building, and like they're going to position themselves, so that they're looking away from the building. And Terra wants to ask the cactus, so you're animated. Does that mean you can like work around? In the move?
Well, it's not my job to walk around, but some of my brethren can.
Brethren?
He
what?
gestures towards the other cacti, like, yes, brethren,
How can they walk around?
with their legs.
They look like normal cactuses to me.
Ah. Well, one moment. You see the cactus point his limbs towards one of the other cacti, and for the best attempt at like a snap of his fingers, you watch one of them just kind of one of these lumbering cacti, like larger than him, and also with like legs and more arm-like limbs, just kind of stands up. Yes. We haven't named the other ones. I'm the only one with a name because I'm the one that talks to guests. So that one is Cacti number 1, my brother.
I see.
I am so amused.
Well, it is odd. I mean, I do not know if you can tell, but I am a bird. I travel the Sword Coast, and I have never seen anything like this.
Ah, yes. And that's why he's so great. You see? How many talking cacti are there in the world? I would have to say I'm the only one. Sit down, Cacti 1. And then Cacti 1 sits back down.
I'll whisper to Cacti 1. You don't have to sit down.
Cacti 1 does not listen to you.
Interesting. Now, so they can move around, but you say it is not your job, yet I see you have legs. Let me try something. You're gonna move a little bit back. Can you move towards me? Just a little. I want to see if you can.
I would say you notice that specifically, Giraffe the cactus does not have legs. He is just he has like a torso that is in the ground. But he has arms. He's okay. I'm afraid not. I'm rooted to the ground. But that is okay. I like my job.
Hey, Giraffe, you hungry?
Well,
I'll shove something into his mouth.
He spits out like, I do not know what this is. Do you have plant feed?
Scraps, don't feed
I have bread. How about this wine? You like the wine?
Don't.
If there is water within it,
I'll pour it down his mouth.
The cactus seems to get a bit woozy, like, oh, that is a strange sensation for a cactus.
How many brothers do you have?
He's like, watch this. You watch. You watch his 4 cacti stand up.
Oh.
And none of them are mounts, right? Apart from Giraffe.
Yeah, no. These are just like, these look more just like people. They're like silhouette-shaped cactuses. They're the do you have any more of that wine?
A bit of retrospective, because I've bought some like very cheap stuff to brewing.
You don't want to give me expensive wine. Yeah, you got like a 1 gold bottle of like just crap, really.
No, I mean like I bought stuff that I've been brewing. And
okay. You've given him like your hooch.
Yeah. I've always got this going. I don't know.
He's like, for a bit, maybe a little bit more.
Can I roll for how good this is?
Yeah, please. Roll a, I don't know, like a brewer's tools kit, like check.
Yeah. You can roll with the kit proficiency, can't you?
Yeah.
What attribute should I use?
I think it's just not. I don't think it's got. I think if you just put proficient, it should just do it.
I think it's just proficiency. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't work with that. I just have to query the attribute.
Okay, let's say maybe I don't know, intelligence. Maybe
Wisdom, maybe.
Wisdom, yeah.
Wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom. Intelligence is knowing that a tomato is a fruit, and wisdom is not putting it in your wine.
Yeah.
18.
It's a good it's a good bottle of hooch. You've made some. You feel like you've got quite talent for this. He seems to be enjoying it as well.
Your brothers want some? Over cactus number 1.
I they don't have mouths, but you could pour it over them, perhaps.
I'll pour something over them.
Cactus 1 looks like, I don't know, he just kind of stands there. As you pour alcohol on him, he's like, "Do you like that? Oh, why am I asking?"
I think while Scraps is doing this, Tara is going to go look back at Cactus. I already forgot him again. It's fine.
Giraffe.
Giraffe.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, so you said you can relay message?
Well, only but not in. How do I explain this? Yes, when he gets back, I'm like a post box.
Yes.
That's what he tells me.
See, Zero, I think you're much more than a post box.
Maybe. I'm a talking cactus.
You're much more than a talking cactus.
Trying to give him like a pep talk. Break your chains.
Trying to get him to go on strike.
Unionize the cactus.
Young master, you've brought me alcohol, of which I have never had, and you've told me nice things. Maybe you're right. However, I am stuck here forever.
Are you sure about that? Surely there's something.
I'm fairly sure that if I ever leave this exact spot, I shall cease to be animated and therefore die.
Can I throw a persuasion here? But you're like, you'll never know if you don't try.
Okay. Please roll persuasion on Giraffe the Cactus.
Tara is not helping.
Okay.
I'm just watching, amused, like.
I think Aaron is helping. I think Aaron is genuinely like he's like whispering to Scraps of like how to like giving him little like encouragement.
How to do another persuasion roll there. With 2 advantage. Oh,
13.
Oh, with the alcohol in the system as well, it's like, well, I suppose I could give it a try. Stand clear, young master. I'm going to attempt to walk forwards.
Stand back.
He just falls over flat. Help!
Did it uproot itself as well?
Kind of. Like he's kind of just like gone flat. He's like, I think some of it. Oh no!
Can I roll him over so his mouth is like in the floor?
Oh!
I think
I'll just
Tara's
like
gonna
sit
pick him
next
up.
to him and be like, "That's my work done."
Tara's just gonna pick him up
Oh.
No, then he can.
and just kind of like hold him. And just like, are you okay?
I think the young master's right. I have reached myself and I'm not dead.
Can you do one thing for me?
Yes.
Can you tell your brothers to lay back down?
Oh yes. Cactus 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to sleep.
Wait! Before you do that,
Oh,
maybe
Cactus 1,
you
2,
can
3,
use
4.
them.
Oh.
Maybe you could use them. Explore the world. You know, they're your brothers.
No.
Oh my
Come all
god.
together.
Bamvar,
Let them carry you.
Bamvar, they're not so great. I'll be seeing you later, and you can have my resignation letter. Cactus 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab me.
This is okay.
We've made Voltron.
Okay.
Cactus Voltron.
It's gonna be like our Zelka where he comes back and he's like so powerful.
The cacti pick him up. He's like, my God, young master, you're right. You're right.
We've got the cactus to unionize is what we've done.
I tell you what, he just looks around at you all. He's like, "You're here to rob the place, aren't you?"
Yes.
Yeah.
More of a retrieval, but yes.
Oh, it's fine. Just rob the place. He just points at the door and it opens. He's like,
Yes.
"You have given me far more than I could ever ask for. You've given me freedom. You've given me.
So long, Mr. Cactus.
Remember,
Yes.
remember me. Remember Cacti 1, 2, 3, 4. I must give them names. We shall travel the world."
Yes.
I like stifling laughter here. It's just hilarious.
Tara's
At
just in
this point, like
shock.
Uruk has probably walked back because he was probably over there. And you probably
Just
see
looking
in his
around
hand,
the-
like paper as he was planning out, like getting in and like what they might encounter, just as a rough plan. And he obviously knew this was happening, but as seeing this and hear him say, "Just rob the place," he's just looking around confused, just like.
Farewell, pilfering thieves, and be careful. Bambar keeps an array of traps inside.
Yes, about that. Before you leave, is there anything else you could tell us that would help us?
Bamvar's a wizard.
We just
Yes.
fucking walk in. I'm not fucking around.
I grab straps. No, it's trapped. Don't go in there. Not yet.
I've never been inside. I have been rooted to this spot my whole life. Until now.
That is fair.
If I was a house plant, I would tell you things. Unfortunately, I was an outdoor plant.
Are there any houseplants inside?
Possibly.
Okay,
He
that's
doesn't
right.
know.
You wouldn't. Okay.
Um,
Well, good luck on your journey.
Yes, yes, you too. I think I
The
shall.
most I
Sorry.
can give you is this, and they're gonna reach over the cactus and they're gonna just do a little pat on the cactus.
You're giving him heroism.
Give them heroism.
Yes.
Enjoy your liberty and freedom.
Brothers. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I have an idea that we're not gonna do, but it is very funny. Just reach into the bag, give it the evident thing of ball, and just be like, "Go!"
No, don't fucking make an enemy for us to fight.
Psycho cactus just wandering the world.
Yes, please enjoy your freedom.
Thank you. You shall hear one day of Sir Jiroth, Slayer of Evil, the Cactus Man.
Yes, yes, I will keep my ear out and my spirits up.
Come on, brothers. Let us leave.
And I pour the rest of the wine on them before they leave.
You give him even more Dutch courage as he leaves.
With an Arcana roll of 20, do I know how long that kind of like magic might last of like enhancing a plant to?
It's so hard to tell. I mean, he's technically. I don't know if Awakened has a limit on it or not. Really, I mean,
Awaken doesn't. Awaken just happens. It's just
I think he's kind of like he's like Awakened plus Construct. So you have a suspicion that this cactus is going to live whatever the lifespan of a cactus is. Like
100 years.
they exist.
there's going to be 4 or 5 of them. Admittedly, he's not going to be the best adventurer, given that he has to be carried at all times by 4 of the cactuses. But you know, and they have, as far as you can tell,
one person that's a party of 5.
yeah, basically that is true. That is true.
It's 4 fighters and a wizard, effectively.
Pretty
It's what it
much.
could become.
Yeah, pretty much. The doors to the place are now open.
I think Journey speaks up at this point. I don't know what is more terrifying, that we just unleashed 5 cactus men upon Faerun, or that I found Jeroth relatable.
I think Tara is just genuinely speechless.
I'm just dusting my hands up and saying, well.
I think Uruk will probably look at Terror's guys at this point and be like, "Well, you see why I said you might not be as useless as you think. There's sometimes always..." He'll just stop and just be like, whatever, just grumble, scrunch up the paper he was working on, just put it in a bag, and just start and head towards the entrance.
Farewell, Giraffe. I'm writing a note down in my plot hooks.
This is your Zelgar the Plague Lord. It's just some random guy.
They convinced Giraffe the Cactus he could
unionize.
He could unionize with his brothers and travel. And he took off.
I swear this is the true pacifist run.
I've made Undertale.
I was over there being like, I can teleport, journey up to the top. They could drop down a rope. We'll climb up the rope, and then we're on the top floor and we go in. But I'm like, all this is happening. I'll wait to see where that goes. And when it's like, oh, what are you doing in the meanwhile? I'm like that. And then it's like, oh no, you just convinced him to fuck off. And I'm like, I guess I'm not needed.
It's more than that. You gave him a life purpose apart from being a door answerer. You've done so much for that cactus in the space of about 5 minutes. It's incredible.
I have a question. Does Candlekeep have a sign or a sigil to represent them?
That is a very good question. I assume they must do, but I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. That's the problem. Actually, I think they do. Hang on, I think I might be able to get it. Candlekeep sigil. Yeah, here you go. They have a sigil. Can we set? I'll send it in the session text chat for you. There you go. Looks like that.
Okay. I think Terra is going to. I'm going to say that they have brought one of the notebooks with them that was free.
Yeah.
And they're going to draw that symbol, and just kind of post it where the cactus was.
Oh, I was going to go a step further and burn it into the ground, but
That works. That works too. I mean, Terra still does this.
This is for Candlekeep, bitch, just so you know who robbed you.
Yeah, no.
I think
exactly. It's a calling card.
Leave notes of who's robbing him, and he's just confused. He's just like.
It's more. We're gonna just say that, if you want to complain, these are the people you complain to, sort of thing. It's like, come talk to them.
Exactly.
Candlekeep asked us to make your cactus leave.
Yeah, so we're gonna burn where the cactus was. I'm gonna get the dragon to burn it in, and it's basically sacred flame coming out of its mouth, but it's burning it into the ground.
There is now a burnt, singed bunch of grass where this cactus was.
I think Terra is after all that is just gonna set down the piece of paper as well.
Just as well.
And just okay, well that is a lot. Let's go and finish what we started. This day is very strange.
Maybe you can convince the rest of the traps that they have a life purpose outside the tower.
Yes, Scraps. How about you do that?
I was gonna just leave him there in the ground. You're the one.
What do you? No, it was not me. It was you. Yeah. Let's go. Let us go. Let us go. Who can see traps? I guess that would be me.
And the dragon. And the dragon.
And the dragon.
Do you head inside?
Now that we are heading inside, I let go of Scraps. It's safe now.
I'm gonna
We're
go.
all going in.
Okay. You walk into the ground floor of the. You can see it now. I think I revealed it, right?
You can see it.
So essentially, it's a large, nicely. Ignore all the numbers and stuff, by the way. They don't really, because it's like a map I got from somewhere else. So it's not going to. The layout's not going to be exactly like this, but yeah, pretty much identical to this. It's big, well decorated, nicely nicely decorated, well lit, tiled entrance hall. There's 2 staircases leading up to kind of a mezzanine floor, halfway up. And within the center of the room, you see a plinth. And on the plinth is a statue of a wizard with a plaque at the base that reads, Famvar the Great, Master of the Arcane, Keeper of the Tower.
Okay, I don't feel bad about robbing this person.
As you all step
Who built
inside,
a tower? Built a massive statue themselves in their own house.
Yes, who builds a massive
wizard.
statue of themselves and
As you
calls
step
themselves
inside,
the Great?
as you step inside of the ground floor, you hear a voice emanating from the statue.
Okay.
Given the time away from the tower, you are clearly not supposed to be here. If you've come to pilfer valuables, I keep most of my things in the bank like a normal person. And if you've come to pilfer knowledge, well, go on up the stairs. Be my guest. My animated cleaning constructs will mop up your remains.
Oh god, it's gonna be like the Wizard Tower in Fantasia.
Bamvar out.
Suddenly getting like Dishonored to Jindosh vibes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do I have an explosion spell? I do. I actually have a perfect spell for this.
Can I do something?
Terra's going to cast Shatter on the statue, and it deals double damage since it's an inanimate object.
Construct, yeah.
Oh god.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get it out.
It's like a marble statue of this man. Okay, you just send pieces of this thing fucking flying across the room. Pretty much. It's a nicely crafted marble statue, which now lies all around the room.
I think
Can I say,
I think, like, with a slight ringing in his ears, will be like, I thought I said not to bash everything up, but... I didn't think I'd have to tell you that either, but, I mean... we've already caused enough mayhem, so why don't we just rip all the traps out of the wall, burn down everything? I mean, as long as we get the book at this point, I don't think subtle.
We're not going to burn down the place. It is just that they are a bit of an asshole. And I can tell that immediately by them referring to themselves as the Great, building a tower and stealing things. And
well, they only bought stolen.
Yeah,
stuff.
they bought stolen goods.
Bought stolen stuff. Apologies, it is very similar in my head. Sorry.
What were you going to say, Nish? By the way, sorry.
I wanted to say, oh well, it worked once, so let's try it again. Just gonna shout up the tower and be like, constructs, you're not just cleaning. That's not your life's purpose.
No,
you can leave.
You don't get a response. You're just calling upstairs.
Well, it's worth a shot.
Jareth just up and left. What are you guys doing here?
Okay.
You have to reason that Giraffe was somewhat more intelligent than most of the mobs. Sorry, Dozer.
Okay. I apologize. I let my disdain for the opulent take over. So.
When he blows up the statue, when Terra blows up the statue, is there anything left?
Like a pair of legs and a bunch of chunks everywhere, just left around the room. You kind of like dodge like bits of stone coming at you.
I apologize. So, let us... How do we want to approach this? We of course need to get to the higher floors, but they will be guarded. Is there any way that we want to try to do that besides going through the stairs?
Well, I think it will be like, it'll take a minute, but well, unless anyone's got it prepared, I can take some time, figure out the magics on the where the magics are, and because given the wording of this, and given he's a quite powerful wizard, I assume he feels beneath the ability to use stairs, and thus the stairs themselves may be warded. And if my assumption's right, I do want to make sure that just by avoiding the stairs, hopefully we can avoid any traps. Or maybe he was being a lot less literal than I think. But
I have an idea. He said cleaning constructs. There's a little rubble here. Why don't we just throw the rubble and see if anything comes out to clean it?
Well, you're not
also
wrong.
Yeah, I think we're gonna I'm also gonna get the dragon to pick up like bigger pits and like fly them up and drop them off.
Where are you dropping them? Just like on the top. What's the goal?
On top of the
They're
stairs.
on the stairs and stuff on the top.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw some rubble up there. Like,
Okay, I'm just gonna 1 second. So you're just dropping at the top of the stairs, basically.
Yeah.
So our assumption is those are just like very elaborate Roombas, right? That's
yes,
that's
what
the
I'm
thinking we're okay.
Roombas with knives is what I'm assuming. He's got.
And while they're doing that, I think Tara is going to try to check for traps up the stairs with their better eyes.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
And
Go for it. Sorry, go for it.
yeah.
Gonna give me a perception roll? Yeah. Do it. Go for it.
Alright, 1 second.
Okay. I think
That
you
is
19.
advantage. Yeah,
Yeah.
19.
I think you kind of make you like very slowly make your way up, and you're kind of like feeling each individual step for any kind of mechanism or anything. And I think that kind of make your way up, and as you get to the top, around here, you notice that there is actually a pressure plate under the carpet. You don't press it too far that you activate it, but you notice that it's there, like on this particular step.
I think Tara's gonna go over to the handrails and kind of just whatever, and kind of just shout down to everybody over the sound of them throwing rocks.
Yeah.
They're going to kind of point down to the stairs and say, "There's a pressure plate under the carpet. It seems that we may be able to avoid it."
Do we want to instead trigger it while we're not there to see what happens, so we're not caught by surprise?
Yes, but if it releases enemies, then we would still have to fight them.
Yeah, but if we're down the stairs, we're probably more prepared to fight it than if it'll have to come
Just
to us.
avoid the trap.
Yes, we should just avoid it. And I think Tara's just gonna kind of jump over the step.
You land on the other side up here.
Yeah.
As far as you can tell, you avoided triggering it.
Eric will start making his way up the stairs as well.
Yeah. Tara's gonna point out the step.
I think if all of you head your way up and make.
Yeah, I'm following Kurik.
I'm gonna pick up a bunch of rubble and then head upstairs.
Okay, I'm guessing you all just avoid. You all like follow instructions and you avoid it.
Yeah.
I think as Uruk just like comes closer and sees that it's a pressure plate, and he's just kind of like sighs to himself and is like, "Great wizard, but no warding magic, no fancy, just a simple pressure plate that you can just step over. Truly safety is of the utmost import in this tower, I can say."
Osha compliant?
I'm assuming Blog is coming with us as well.
Blog can
I just whistle to Blog and see if
he
she teleports up.
Yeah,
there.
I think Blog just teleports up. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, we can tell Blog where the trap is. I think it will understand, right?
Yeah, Blog's probably intelligent enough to actually understand how to dodge a trap. Yeah. Well, you stand at the top of this mezzanine floor. You seem to have avoided the staircase trap.
So our plan just to go up the main stairs.
There's no other way up, right? It's just the staircase.
Pretty much, as far as you can tell.
Well, unless you want to go back down the stairs outside, have me teleport someone up, and then everyone climb a rope 50 foot dangling it as over the edge. I think the stairs are the only option.
Yeah.
They're just
What does
like
everyone
trailing
think?
rubble behind me.
Okay.
Well, I am excited at the prospect of being teleported, but I don't know if it helps.
Well, I was thinking about it before the door opened, but I feel the normal entrance is probably the least trapped.
Can I send the dragon up to so it's above the stairs, so it wouldn't trigger a pressure plate, but looking for equivalent pressure plates?
Like what? Like when you say like what? Like through this door? You mean there's a door and staircase? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you go to open the door? Closed.
Oh yeah. I'd open the door, but I'd also check the door. I think before I open it.
Door itself seems. I would say actually go ahead. Give me an investigation roll actually.
Investigation. Okay.
Yeah, either or. It seems completely mundane. Just a regular door, as far as you can tell. So you go to open it.
Yep.
Okay. So you do. As you go to open the door, either side of the door, 2 sets of armor
Oh,
come to life. And if you would all please, let me get the turn order up. If you would all please roll initiative for me, thank you.
I knew there was something with those suits of armor. I
That's
just
so
knew it.
obvious.
Yeah,
I was gonna poke them.
goddamn nat one. At least I got my nat one out early.
All right, let's see how they roll on the initiative roll, shall we? Hello, Muse. You want to play music? It's not playing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Play.
Wow, we all rolled pretty bad.
Yeah. The 12 is the highest.
I'll try playing something else. Yeah. Okay. They are going to. They are also going to roll. But I was just taking a second to try and get music playing, but it's not playing. No, nothing.
It's cooked.
It's fucked. It's not playing.
Mhm.
Okay, now it's playing something. Whatever. That'll have to do. All right.
Is it Undertale?
No, it's
No.
Lisa. Right.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Sorry about that. Let me get the rolls. I think they'll each roll initiative. There's only 2 of them.
Mm.
Okay. I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna call this a surprise round. I think that seems fair that they get a surprise round here. So they'll get a turn of actions, and then you guys can go. So I think the right hand side animated armor moves here and attempts to grapple you, Ulrich.
Sorry, I forgot to roll for block.
Damn.
So if you could make a athletics or acrobatics check.
Can I? Is it yeah, it's athletics or acrobatics. You don't need a feat to use acrobatics, right?
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't. No.
20.
You manage to just kind of. This thing is kind of slow and hulking. So you manage to just kind of dodge as it attempts to like grab you. It then attempts. It attempts to slam itself against you. Just kind of like go up, basically just punch you with its gauntlet with the other side. Now that it's missed its attempt to grab. Does a 20 hit? I think it does.
It does. I think that hits anyone in the party.
You take 3 damage.
Ooh.
The other animated armor moves now, and it is going to. I think it's going to wander up to you, Terra, and it's going to similarly attempt to grapple. So if you could make an acrobatics or athletics check against it.
Ooh. Oof.
Again, you manage to just completely, you just avoid its slips, and with its other hand, it attempts to punch. It's kind of, I can't imagine like it tries to grab you with one, fails, and this goes for the swing instead. So let's see how it does. A 10 does not hit you.
Barely misses.
Barely misses. All right. Back. So start top of the round. Top of the round. That was their surprise round. Let's see. Okay. I'm just. I was going to say what are the rules on shoving? Does anyone know? Is it just an attack action to try and
I think
shove?
it's just attack action.
An attack.
Yeah.
Okay. This guy's going to attempt to shove you down, Eric.
Oh no.
See how he does.
Not down the stairs.
A 9 misses. It tries once more. 23 hits you.
Yep.
You are knocked on your ass on top of the pressure plate. You hear a certain satisfying click as all of the stairs on this side turn completely flat like a ramp, and you begin sliding down towards a spiked pit at the bottom.
Gary Gygax!
By the way, it's I don't know if this matters, but like it says strength contest after you attack.
Oh, is it a strength contest? Okay. Well, maybe not. Yeah, I guess you roll a strength contest then. Sorry, I was trying to look at the rules, but I couldn't find it.
15.
Yeah, well, let's see how it does.
That's it.
Okay, maybe not. You now know what's there, though. No, it does.
It's a Queedly ass wizard versus Metal Man.
I know, and you still only just lost to it somehow. So if you would please attempt to make. So basically, on your way down, there is a pit at the bottom. You sliding down is not going to cause you any damage, but just imagining like in the time of this round, it is going to slide down to the bottom. Could you make a Dex save at the bottom to try and like just avoid the pit?
10. Well, do I get the ability to use an action?
It's not your turn, and it's a save. So
Yeah, I'm saying before I fell into the pit.
What I mean is,
how long it took.
You just slid straight down, basically, like in that time. Is what I mean. It's like fucking smooth. It's like especially like almost magically smooth how quickly you go down this fucking thing, like a slide. Okay, I would say that you basically like kind of almost fall into the pit, pull yourself back up, and you take a couple of scratches on your legs for the effort. You take 3 like slashing damage from it, basically. And there is now just a pit at the bottom of this thing, and this staircase is a ramp. Eric, speaking of, it's your turn.
Well, the other one gets his turn as well, right?
No, because it's in position 5 in the turn order, so it's now they've both had their surprise round, so now it's your guys' turn to go, basically.
Can the one of that? Hang on a minute. Yeah, because we ruled that and that one. Can the one that just shoved me make a con save?
Absolutely, it can.
Oh, how deep is the pit? I assume it's fairly deep, right?
Pretty deep, yeah. I would say it's like a full-on. It's just a full-on pit trap. You see a skeleton.
15 con save.
All right, let's see how it does. I like that. Okay. All right, yeah. Let's see how he does.
It says 13 there, but it's 15. I don't know why that hasn't updated.
Yeah, not very well. He does not do very well. You just drop it in the pit.
Yep, it gets dropped into the pit.
Excellent. Yeah, you watch this. You guys up here watch this thing fall straight down. It just disappears, and then it fucking clatters into a fucking pit and takes the full brunt of the damage there. I'm going to say 3d6 damage on the pit as it kind of tries to climb its way out. Takes 12 damage.
No shit.
You notice that the spikes down there are strong enough to pierce through the metal armor of this thing. It is pulling itself off.
Yeah, so then I'll also move back.
It's pulling itself off of the spikes. It's pulling itself off of the spikes there. And Rahul, what do you think I said? Terrence, your go.
That's entirely normal to me.
That's like jerking off, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. Shoot. Okay. I think Terra is going to take a step that way.
Mm-hmm.
And they are going to cast... you know what? Let's upcast it. They're going to cast Shatter at 3rd level.
Okay.
on the construct that's right there, and they're gonna angle it. You get it in a way so it only gets the construct.
Okay, yeah, you're like aiming straight at this thing.
Yeah. So it needs to make a save with disadvantage.
Yeah, because it's made of metal. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And it's a con save, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
So
DC
con save
15.
with disadvantage. You know, that disadvantage really helped you. It would have got a nat 20, but it got an 8. It got an 8. So this thing takes...
It takes 12 thunder damage.
13, right? You upcast
No,
it.
12.
No? Didn't you upcast it?
I did. I did.
Yeah, 12 plus 1.
Yeah, 13. Yeah, it's the one at the top.
Oh, okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it rolled 1.
Okay, that is weird. That's a 13, yes.
It's just got disadvantage against it. It doesn't do double damage against it, does it?
No, it just does disadvantage.
Yeah,
I was thinking of a different spell.
Yeah. It takes that. It's shook by the thing, that's for sure. It clatters, but it's still standing. Oh, okay. Blog is in the turn order. Hang on a minute. Blog's not in the right place in the turn order. Okay.
No, I just rolled it after. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Got you. All right. Mm-hmm. Speaking of, unless there's anything else you want to do, Tara?
For Bardic Inspiration, hold on. In order to get Bardic Inspiration, it's a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the range on that?
60?
60 feet? Yeah, I would have gone 60 feet. Let's say 60 feet, and we'll look it up later.
Okay. They are going to give Bardic Inspiration to Eric.
Nice, Eric. Let's get. I think we've used a star for this in the past.
Yeah.
What does Bardic Inspiration do again? It's D6 to
any roll.
Any roll, apart from a damage roll. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's
after...
a creature within 60 feet can hear you.
Yeah. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay. And that's gonna be that for their turn.
Okie doke. Scraps. Your turn.
How much on a bet? There's a pressure on the other side of the door.
Mm-hmm.
On the other staircase, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna over here and then we'll do two unarmed strikes.
Please do. Roll them for me, please.
My computer's a bit slow. 1.
Okay, that misses. That hits. Roll damage. It does 5 bludgeoning.
Damage.
Yeah, do a nice chunky hit in its center of mass.
Yeah, and then I get an attack. So
yeah, absolutely. Please do. That also misses. Yeah. It's made of strong old armor. This thing.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna take the. I get disengage action for and then move over.
You just move back, basically. Yeah. Oh, we didn't roll for the. Did we roll for the dragon either?
Well, the dragon's part still goes on my go.
So it's your turn. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. No worries.
Yeah, it doesn't take my actions, but it still goes on my turn. Is what we were going to roll, just because it's easier to track than for me.
So we get...
Apologies, I need to roll another unarmed strike because I get 2 for Flurry of Blows.
Oh, you're doing Flurry of Blows. Spend the key point then, and do another one. Because you do get an extra unarmed strike for free.
Do I?
You get 1 for free and 2 for
Flurry of Blows. Yeah.
Flurry of Blows.
I think so long as you've used your action, so long as you've used your action to attack, you always get that bonus action attack.
Yeah, you get that bonus action one.
I missed anyway.
Unfortunately, it's got a very high AC. To be fair.
I can't really push. I don't have much strength.
Yeah, I mean, if you got athletics, it'd be athletics.
Oh, I don't have much.
But you've already used your attacks anyway. But,
yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. So what about Blog? Does Blog just go in for a bite?
Blog, yeah, bite.
Blog, bite.
Let me do Blog.
Yeah, go for it. I think you have the ability to move him and run stuff.
Yeah, it's 11. So I'm gonna move him up here.
Yeah.
And yeah, that misses, I guess.
Unfortunately. Then Journey.
Quick question: if I have multiple attacks, it means I roll for each one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
You roll. You'll roll. You see if it hits or not. We roll damage, and then you roll the next one.
Okay. Another question.
Yes.
Would you allow me to slide down the stairs and like jump off of the like armor?
You like, but yeah, I mean, let's say for all intents and purposes that the armor is like a stepping stone for you on the spikes. And I would also say if you step on his head and you send it further down the spikes, it's going to do more damage to it.
That is exactly my plan. I want to help Ulrich with this thing downstairs.
Yeah. Okay, you can. I'm going to say absolutely. In the time it will take you, you can just slide down the stairs and treat it like it's like 10 feet's worth of movement or something like that.
And I have 40 feet of movement. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So like 15.
Yeah, then you just fucking slide down. You slide down and you fucking jump off of its fucking head, just sending it down the spikes. Yeah, I'm not even gonna make roll anything for this. Rule of cool here. It takes another 2d6 as it's pushed onto these fucking spikes. Oh, roll 20. I only asked you to roll 2d6. It shouldn't be that fucking hard.
The rolls 200d6.
Yeah,
It
I
explodes.
Okay, it takes another 8 damage. And then you've still got your attack action.
Oh, you still allow me to attack? Holy shit! Okay.
Yeah, fuck it.
That's your object interaction, is what that was.
Yeah. That was just you standing on its head. Like you didn't attack it.
I feel so fucking cool right now.
Yeah. No, God, no, we're not making that an attack.
As it's trying to like clamber back up, I'm just gonna like just smash down on it.
Please do.
Twice for good measure.
Roll an attack for me. Well, let's see if you hit first. Let's see if you hit.
Yeah.
That misses.
Mm-hmm.
What about your second one? That hits. Roll damage.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
That is exactly. You slide down the stairs, bonk on its head, send it further down the spike, and then you just, for good measure, fucking slam your maul down the hole, sending it all the way down to the bottom of the spikes, and this thing stops wiggling.
You know what?
Remove from turn order. Successful turn order.
You know what? Since I feel so fucking cool right now, action search. I'm gonna like raise my hammer and scream, and give aid to myself, Ulrich, and I think to the pseudo dragon again. They don't have much HP.
Yeah, please. So let's. If you could just output the thing of that again for us.
Yes, of course.
Lovely. Nice. So they get.
Additional.
It goes up to 33. Yeah. We'll make a note then. So if you could also add that to yourself as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna I know it's not. I'm probably just gonna do it as 5 temp HP just for convenience.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
fair.
fine. That's fine.
I just
I'm
go
not
5
changing
above off of my maximum.
Right,
Yeah,
you
so my
just
max
make
is
it
5 above my max. But yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. You just want to keep in mind that you have an increased max because you can heal.
Yeah, you can heal up to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Basically for the rest of the dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah, you fucking demolished this thing.
Yeah.
The other
Oh, yeah,
one.
'cause aid lasts 8 hours, doesn't it?
The other one attempts to make a couple of slams at Blog, which it hits 1 of the 2. It swings. It only does 5 damage to Blog. Blog just kind of growls at the thing. Arian, it's your turn.
Yep. Oh.
You and the Cedar Dragon's turn.
Yeah, so the pseudo dragon will go first.
Yep.
It's next to it, so it'll do its multi attack.
Yep.
So it'll sting first.
Yep.
It shouldn't have advantage, but that misses anyway.
Yep.
And then 15, I assume, doesn't hit either.
No, it doesn't. No.
So pseudo dragon tries. This
Yeah.
is very chunky for what it's compared to what it's used to.
It's a very high AC monster. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm going to. I'll just do 2 Eldritch Blasts at it.
Classic. Let's do it. That hits. We got one hit.
Okay, 1 hit.
Roll damage. Hey, you
3
know,
force damage.
it's the 4 that counts.
And bonus action, I'm going to healing light. Rick, how much have you down?
Eric's down.
Does that include your? Oh no, yeah,
No,
yeah. I'll give you
1d6
1d6 then.
Ooh.
Do that.
Hey, yeah, roll it.
2,
Hey, you get 2 hit points back, Eric.
Ooh.
and that's my turn.
2 hit points is like it's almost like a 10 for your health. Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not insignificant.
Yeah, certainly not. It's enough for you. Speaking of, Eric, it's your turn.
He's with a 90. Well, why is that a spell? Why is that one? Is it there?
You should have an attack on your front of your finger.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Oh.
There you go.
Oh.
That hits roll damage.
I shall do acid. That seems good for
Yeah.
something made of metal.
Bloody
Look
thunder
at
is-
lightning.
Oh.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Either way.
That's like all the health it has anyway. Yeah, you watch this thing melt into a puddle of slag on the ground, and then you watch the pit close with the animated armor inside of it, and you see the staircase go back to being a staircase.
The wizard's gonna be so fucking confused when he walks back in and there's only one fucking suit of armor. He's gonna be like, well, one melted pile of goo. He's like, where the fuck did the other one go?
It's like okay, so they blew up my fucking statue. They melted one of my things, and then they fucking, I don't know, vanished the
Did
other
they
one.
steal my plan and the suit of armor? Like, what the fuck happened?
Well, fight well done. I'm going to just say, for all intents and purposes, that one is not visible ever again.
Is there anything left of the armor?
It's like a big pile of metallic. It's like melted slag. It's covered in like acid.
Can I collect the acid?
Wait, Eric, just to clarify, which staircase did you go?
No, it is. I'd be checking for pressure plates.
Okay, please do. Give me what do you want? Investigation, perception?
I'll do investigation.
Yeah.
Oh god.
22.
Okay.
At a different point in the staircase, you spot a raised bump in the carpet, and you deftly step over it, heading up the staircase.
There's nothing in this, is it? It's just animated.
Just a big melted pile of metal now. Yeah, there's nothing
Gotta
in
be like
it.
a cactus. That'd be
No.
funny.
My cactus warriors, protect my abode, please.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised either. We got options here, folks, because we've been going for about 3.5 hours. We could keep going, or we could call it here and try and finish off the tower next session. Do people have a preference? I thought I'd ask, because we've just done first floor. It seemed like a good time to ask.
How long do you think it'll take to finish?
Don't know. It's a couple hours, hour or two, maybe. I don't know.
I can
Maybe
probably
it's
try that.
maybe it's worth breaking it up.
Yeah, I have no plans, so I could go, but I
Same,
also
but-
want to have Draken here for the rest of this. I think that
Yeah,
would
that'd be good.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to get dinner. So you know, it seems like a good. It seems like a good place. Then I think this is a good place. We've gone for about 3.5 hours. I think I'm gonna. I think we can call it. Right, thanks, Draken. Thanks for listening in. You're gonna
Wait, do we
be.
have a code word for Draken?
There is none this week, I think.
Yeah, code word this week.
Draken's already got. Like, what am I going to give him? Like, what?
Oh, do I get inspiration for getting the code word?
Did you not? Yeah, of course you can.
Okay.
If you didn't already have one, I mean,
I didn't know.
Oh wait. Are you asking? Can you get inspiration if Drekken gets the code word? Or are you asking? Can
No.
no. Yeah,
It's from a couple of weeks ago.
If you did it a few weeks ago, add it.
Yeah,
you got it. All right, cool. No,
All right,
see you Drekken. Mwah mwah. Bye.
Bye bye.